What's up, good people? What's up, good people? For those who have been following along, Craig the Tech Guy says the gender war is over. For those that have been following along, I had a pop filter yesterday, but I got a shock mount. But the shock mount that they made, the pop filter that comes with it goes with a different kind of mic that's made to not talk. I'm not going to explain it. I'm going to have to buy some whole new equipment. Maybe a whole new mic. Somebody says, don't get me into the show. I'm still playing the intro. He says, according to the recent survey of Obsidian Media Network, 80% of men in relationships can't get their women to make them a sandwich on demand. I got to go check that out. I'm actually going to steal that and make some content on it right here, right now, today. Some on the fly content. I'll add that to the show. But without further ado, shout out to mediocre tutorials and reviews on that one. But we about to get this thing rolling, about to get this thing started. I'd like to thank everybody for coming on in. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. I haven't hit the like button yet, so I got to make sure I do that. But we're about to get this thing going, about to get the ball rolling. Hopefully we have another classic for you. I got to do some recap of the last show too. Some recap my thoughts on the last show. I don't like how some aspects of it went, but we got to do some recap on that and a few other things. And I'm going to check out what y'all talking about with a poll that Obsidian showed or did or conducted or whatever. I'm going to freestyle that. But without further ado, let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to roll. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
What's up, good people? We are, focus. That's a bad out of focus. But it does that all the time. We're used to it by now. New equipment will be coming in a year. But what is going on? I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. The show known as the Grown Man Hour. That name was given by Pablo Frescobar. He came up with, he just called it that one day and it stuck, and everybody continued to call it that. So that became the unofficial, well, no, well, it was unofficially the name of the show until it officially became the name of the show. So shout out to Pablo on that. Shout out to Pablo on that. Like to thank everybody for making it in the building. Got a number of things I'm going to be discussing today, but first and foremost, shout out to the early bird squad. Those that make it in early, drop a comment and a like and all of that good stuff before the show even gets officially started. I appreciate that. And while I'm talking to y'all about hitting the like button, I want to make sure that I do the same thing. Here we go. All right, got 88 people in here, 28 on the likes. 28 on the likes. Let's get those up. Let's get those up. But shout out to the early bird squad, those that make it in bright and early before we even get things started here. Before we even get things started, Little Rock in the building. Craig, the tech guy in the building, says the gender war is over. I'm giving my thoughts on that. I'm holding my thought on that. The Mac the trucker in the building says, "What's good, everyone?" See, we got 100 people in here. Let's get them likes up to 50. 41 on the likes, 100 people in here. Let's get the likes up to 50. And after you get them up to 50, get them up to 75. 75. According to a recent survey from Obsidian Media Network, 80% of men in relationships can't get their woman to make them a sandwich on demand. I find that disheartening and heartbreaking, even. Well, let me check that out. What you're talking about there? That a survey on his community tab that I'm assuming did he post an article? Uh-oh, we don't need that going off. You can shut the hell up. But research that reveals that the only thing I see is he's posted something that says if a man is taller, 5'10" or up, he's more likely to cheat. I think 3 times more likely to cheat. In fact, the study included a report online affairs and website Madison that taller men are twice as likely to cheat when compared to those under 5'10". Yeah, that's the only thing I'm seeing right there. So post me a link to whatever you're talking about. Drop the link in there so I can see exactly what you mean. Exactly what you mean and exactly what you're talking about. Because that is an interesting one. That is an interesting one. See, I didn't think that it was the case that guys in relationships couldn't get their woman to make a sandwich. I just thought that there was a high concentration of women who was like, I ain't making no sandwich for no man, or I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that. I just thought it was just a high concentration of women who operate like that, who think like that. And by extension, there were less relationships. there were less functional, happy relationships because women come to the table with an attitude already. And then there's already a lot of guys whose counter to that is I'm just sticking and moving anyway. So I just thought it was a lot of attitude and mean mugging, like what Kevin Samuels talk about. And they say they can't even smile for a black guy unless they're interested in having sex with him. They can't even be pleasant. When they say smile, I think that what's really being said is they just can't be generally pleasant around a black man, to a black man in some cases, unless they're sexually or romantically interested in him in some type of way. Then they'll just be, generally pleasant. So it's thugging and mean mugging on both sides until they meet in the middle, bang, and then they go off their separate ways and then get back to thugging and mean mugging. But I thought the people that actually got in relationships, there's some sandwiches was being made. So that's interesting if those in relationships can't get a damn sandwich. I find that fascinating. Shout out to the Prophet of Thought series. I think I sent you the link for yesterday's show discussion to hop on the panel. I don't think I've heard your official thoughts on the trial, on now the verdict, but because you're normally hosting and refereeing, so I don't know if I heard your official thoughts on it. So I was curious with the Prophet of Thought X from TPOT Media. Well, I was curious to see what X had to say about that? What does Ja Rule think about that? No, but I did want to know what X had to say about it. I want to know what a lot of people say about it. I thought that I mean I'd be seriously naive. I know y'all think I just be trying to set up a fight. I'd be seriously naive enough to think that a good conversation could be had. In the show yesterday, I think it was on the brink. Okay. Before Fantastic started flipping the tables over, I think Fantastic did a good job of just talking about the facts of the case and laying out the case. And MOT did a good job of talking about did a good job of laying out the case. And both of them were on different sides, but both of them brought good facts and evidence as to why they think what happened, or why they think what should have happened. And it was good. I mean, it was a genuinely good discussion could have been had there, and a genuinely good discussion about whether or not they got it right or got it wrong. And my position was always this: it's fine arguments on both sides of that, because the police, they do what they normally do. They normally do try to arrest somebody. If they resist, they will hold them down like that. That's a normal procedure. That's an absolutely normal procedure. But he got drugs in the system, and they did the normal procedure, and he was on the ground clearly dying. You didn't think that you needed to, whoa, hold on, circumstances change, break protocol, somebody's dying. So that's where they do need to go to jail. But it is normal. The procedure that they did was normal, and I could see how some legalistic mumbo jumbo, how it could get argued that here we go. Shout out to Prophet of Thought series with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want. Everything? Everything.
Okay, Silent Lamont says holding down and kneeling on the nigga's neck are two different things. That is a normal police procedure on how they hold somebody down. Like, there's countless videos of them holding people down like that. It's normal. And for somebody without fentanyl in their system, they're not going to die. That's been proven. Now, keep in mind, Silent, I think Chauvin should get all 70 of those years. I think he should get all 70 of those years. I was glad he got found guilty of everything. That sends a strong message to police that you cannot, absolutely positively cannot, be reckless in your either direct killing or involvement in the killing or whatever with a black man. You can't do that and be thinking, oh well, I'm gonna get off. No, they need to have it in the back of their mind. I need to handle this situation delicately, or my ass gonna get locked up. No, having a knee on someone's neck is normal, but holding somebody down when they're laying on their stomach and having a knee either to the lower part of the lower part of the back of their neck, and knees on their back and knees on their leg, that is normal procedure. That is normal police procedure. They do that. It's literally videos of them doing that all the damn time. Yes, but that time they did it to somebody that had fentanyl in his system, and he was dying and crying out that he was dying, and they just ignored it and just sat there, just cleaning their nails and shit. Like, why what? People pleading with them, dude, get up! Can't you see this? And it's almost like out of spite, he just would not move. Like, that's where the problem is. Just out of fuck you, I don't gotta move. You can't tell me what to do. It's like you can't have having that type of reckless attitude towards somebody's life. That's where the murder came in. But the actual physical act of how they held him down, no, that's actually normal. That's normal police procedure. That's actually normal procedure. But if you understand what I'm saying, right, in doing that normal procedure, they committed murder. So we not in disagreement here. They did a normal procedure, and they still are, and they're still guilty of murder. That was murder, plain and simple. Yes, it was murder. I agree that it was murder. All I'm saying is I understand the arguments of how they could have argued that they could have argued their way out of it. That's all I'm saying. They could have argued their way out of it. That's not a deadly procedure that they normally do. It's normally not deadly. But if somebody got drugs in their system, yeah, it could be deadly. And he had drugs in his system and was clearly dying. And they clearly didn't do nothing different in lieu of him clearly dying while they're on top of him. That right there makes it murder. Haul their ass off to jail. So, like, we're in agreement. I'm just saying that there were good arguments that could be made on both sides. If you take your emotion out of it and look at the law, there are good arguments that could be made on both sides. And I think the clincher, because even though there's a legal process, there's a legal process and there's a human element in that legal process. When 12 individuals have to put their supposedly allegedly put their emotions aside and make a decision, that's a human element in that legal process. So those arguments on both sides, when that human element came in, yes, I do believe, just like God's Chosen has the Anti-Defamation League. Well, black people, we don't have an Anti-Defamation League, but we do have a league of unextraordinary niggas who would burn this motherfucker down. And I think that was a determining factor in why they didn't pull some effery and try to get him off on some technicalities. Because the weird thing about the law, when you break down, it's so much legally worded mumbo jumbo to where you can either get anybody off or you can get them a very cheap sentence. So I was thinking that it's a possibility he could get off, or it's a possibility he's just going to get a real weak sentence. Or that Fantastic would be right, that they would charge him with the third thing, the manslaughter thing or something like that. That's honestly what I thought was going to happen. I honestly thought that's what was going to happen. I thought that's what was going to happen. But Nuruddin in the building says, "Hey Bernard, I saw the rug video of the girl that got shot in Columbus. She had it. Oh man, this is a thing where I hope black folks don't wild out about this one." Let me just finish reading the super chat. She had a knife and was trying to stab another girl. That's why the cop shot her. Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope they don't wild out and riot and go crazy about that, because that belittles the whole process. That belittles the whole process when they flip out about everything. There's no questions asked right there. There's no questions asked right there. That cop made he said too late, Bernard. I don't be watching TV. I need to watch more TV. I need to watch more news. Put it like that. I be turning my TV off and just like I'll get off the air and I might just go watch a little bit of something, just for a little bit. But then I'll be shutting down. Sometimes I turn my phone off altogether. Not my phone off. I just stay off of YouTube. When I get through doing this, I unplug sometimes. But Oh shoot, what did LeBron say about it? See the old man in the building. He says they gave a little park apotat the whole treatment. So they wilding. They wilding on this one already. Oh, LeBron James said, "You're next," referring to the cop. He getting hauled away next. That's what that's where. Okay, here we go with this bullshit. They take everybody alive but us. Oh, shut up. I gave a damn about black men. Y'all treat them better when they alive. Fuck your sign in the air. Fuck your BLM sign. All right. Oh man. He literally he did a damn good job. He's a fucking hero and a marksman, as far as I'm concerned. I'm like, that chick was like literally 1 second away from being killed. 1 second away from being killed. And let's get to the show. This is the show. Yeah. SKC in the building. Says a good cop would have shot the a good cop would have shot the knife out of her hand. Yeah. Expecting him to shoot the knife out of the hand. They kill me with that, man. And that's when, a situation. Did I miss one? Hold on. If I was the officer that came up on the scene and a woman with a butcher knife was going to stab another woman, I will not hesitate. Thank you for the super chat, Nuruddin. Appreciate that. And yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Like that is literally what happened. And I see what's wrong with black folks? Like, look at Sweet Pea Diabetes. She says a grown man couldn't tackle a teenager with a knife. I hope that you're saying that because you didn't see the video. From the video, he appeared to be about 10 feet away from the action, at least 10 feet away from the action. One person is body to body with another. One girl is body to body with another girl trying to run a knife through her body and kill her. He, from 10 feet away, shot the person who was shot the black person who was about to kill another black person. Like how is that when a debate? That's where we just get stupid with this stuff. And that's where people like SKC, Fantastic, David Monroe, the Hood Conservative, Trader MBD, they got all the fuel to come at y'all. All the fuel in the world. Because y'all can't even be objective. Now I admit my bias. I showed my bias with the Chauvin thing. I don't care what they come up with. Lock his ass up. Just on optics alone. You can't just sit there, kneel on the back of the neck of somebody while they're dying, and just and with an oh well look on your face, and then walk free. That looks bad on us. If that can happen, it looks good on us to where no, you do some bullshit like that, you getting locked up. Even if a case could be made, like Fantastic was laying out, a case could be made that he could have got found innocent. The guy that gave him the drugs pled the fifth because he didn't want to get charged with murder. A case could have been made that he was innocent. But no. You do something like that. Do something like that to the black man, your ass going down. Is what it is. That's my bias. Just like they say, I don't care about George Floyd. I don't care about a junkie. Well, I don't care about a bad cop. Lock his ass up. That's my bias. I can admit my bias, but it is a stupid bias when you see a cop shoot to kill, but to save another black person, and now you're mad that this black person was dead by the hands of a cop. But had the cop not done what he did, that black person would have been killed by the hands of another black person, and then you wouldn't have cared. That's where it gets goofy. That's where the bias is just out of control and stupid. But shout out to SKC in the building with the $2 super chat.
Yeah, let's go, man. I got $2 for you, man. I know I'm a little short, but you can
appreciate the $2 super chat from the Supreme King Coon. Yes, god damn it. That was potentially going to be a show. I was going to make a whole show out of that because I saw it happening last night. But yes, Kevin Samuels passed Derek Jackson in subscribers. Let freedom ring. Let the I want to play that song. I want to play that song. Yeah. Yeah, that's a momentous occasion right there. That is a momentous occasion. Yes. Yes, I am celebrating that. I take that as a victory. I do.
Yeah, let's go, man. I got $2 for you, man. I know I'm a little short, but you can.
And that sort of alludes to the topic today, because one thing that I'm going to be talking about, I'm not going to play it, just going to ramble a bit about the one of the Kevin Samuels calls where a woman came in just full of delusion, well, really full of effery, and basically talking about, well, it's trauma and it's this and it's that and it's blah, blah, blah. And then when Kevin Samuels broke down everything that was wrong with what she was saying, and she just took the mask off and said what it really was, it made all of our points. But the thing is, pre-Kevin Samuels, the initial thing that she said, it would have been pacified and patted on the head. Now on a major media platform, that shit is being shot down. It's being Dikembe Mutombo'd. And I love it. Whoa, Sweet Pea Diabetes, you saw the video. How do you feel about the girl in pink's life? Does her black life matter? Harambe in the building. He says, I never discuss police incidents with niggas. They are too emotional. Nuruddin in the building. He says, yet those same people that are BLM, I would call the police when they're getting their asses handed to them. Make that make sense. Hold on. Yet those same people that are Black Lives Matter, I would call the police when they're getting their asses handed to them. Make that make sense. I don't understand what you're saying. Maybe I'm a little slow. I don't understand what you're saying. Getting their asses handed to them by who? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I think you mean if they're getting beat. Okay. All right. Whatever. Thank you for the super chat, Nuruddin. Appreciate you. Tavares Wiley in the building with the $50 super chat. Appreciate you.
$50. So that makes you rich?
It's a start.
Damn, why you
Out to Tavares Wiley. I be forgetting to make some people sponsors early in the show, but $50 does get you at sponsor level. So I got to put your name down in the lights at the bottom. Shout out to Albert, Mr. Albert. He says you got a lot of single mother raised mods, just like LeBron. Oh boy, get off my mods, man. Get off. The mod squad is too strong in here. It's too many mods. I got one too many. I got too many mods. I think that's more the problem. Rather than not single mother raised mods. I just got too many of them. Too many mods, and too many of them got rogue ideas. And yeah. So I got mod issues. I got mod issues, no doubt about that. I got mod issues. Trying to correct something. All right. Shout out to the Mac the Trucker. He says, I wonder what BLM, aka Big Lavish Mansion owners are going to say about this. They shouldn't have a whole lot to say. They really shouldn't have a whole lot to say about that one. They really shouldn't. At face value, when I first heard of it, I was like, oh shit, you know. I did have a oh shit moment. He shot a 16-year-old girl. Then I was like, oh, she had a knife. But then I still was like, oh shit. I still was like, oh shit, because but this was before I saw the video. Before I saw the video, I was like, it probably was a situation where she had a knife, but she wasn't, you know. I understand there's some legalistic word, some wordy mumbo jumbo here, but you could have a knife in your hand, but there's still varying levels of threat. You know, if you got a knife in your hand and you're coming at somebody with it, you're a bigger threat than somebody who's just holding a knife 10 feet away. So I was like, I wonder if a girl just, my initial thought was, man, I bet this girl just had the knife in her hand and was just walking slowly and they shot her. That's what I thought happened. And that's when I was like, okay, we're about to burn again. But no, that was not a bad shooting. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. The Mac the Trucker in the building with the super chat. Appreciate that. Nuruddin back in here with another one. He says, correction, Bernard, the BLM crowd will call the police when their asses again headed to them. You still make some mistakes in that one. It is a weird thing. It is a weird thing. It is an unavoidable thing. Well, not unavoidable. At the present moment, unavoidable that the same, and I hate when people say this because they're normally jumbling two different people together at the same time to make an argument. But a lot of the time, when trying not to talk about personal stuff or somebody I know personally, but I know the deal with that shit. I know somebody who called the police on a black man for no damn reason. She just was upset. There was an argument. She didn't like the way that things went. So she called the damn police. That was it. That was it. The same person is the same person who I know has spoke on the dais at a BLM event. So I know. So this person called the police I be trying not to talk about this. I be trying, when I'm giving examples, I try not to give too many examples where it's literally a personal situation where I know this person. It's somebody that knows me listening probably could figure out the individual I'm talking about. But yeah. Put it like this. I know a black woman who called the police on a black man. A fairly legitimate reason to call the police. It was a legitimate reason to call the police. But on the phone, she said he has a gun. When she was on the phone with the police, he didn't have no gun, but she said he has a gun. So the police can come more locked and loaded. This same individual has spoken at a BLM event. I'll just say that. I'll just say that. Deacon Dave in the building. Says I got 5 on it. Shout out to Deacon Dave. Vincent Henley in the building says, had it been 2 get dead girls at the hands of that linebacker, there would have been no outrage. Now, first off, that was not a linebacker, that was a fullback. Not just playing. But shout out to Vincent Henley in the building. And my man, number 16, sad to hear the same white supremacy arguments when it comes to police. If they take one of you out, they will search through your record for anything to justify it. Okay, what situation are you referring to? Because when we're talking about the girls, you got to search through nobody's record. There's a video record of her trying to stab another human, and she got taken out. That's not a white supremacy argument. The people who say, and I'm sort of guilty of this, that point out the hell with George Floyd. He was a horrible person. He put a gun to the belly of a pregnant black lady. Yeah, I'm guilty of saying that, but that has no bearings on whether or not Chauvin should have been found innocent or guilty. And yes, that gets used as a tactic to try to bring. Okay, I got you. You say you're speaking on Floyd. That does get used as a tactic to try to sway the court of public opinion to not see this person as a victim. But in that situation, he was a victim, even though he's been the the victimizer in other situations. So you are right that happens, and we do need to watch that. We do need to watch that, even though a fair discussion could be said about how we will find our criminals, we will elevate them we'll deify them when they get shot by a cop. But at the end of the day, justice was served. Chauvin getting locked up, hopefully for all 70 years. And I'm glad that what George Floyd did in the past didn't have nothing to do with the case, even though it will sway the mind of a jury. It will sway the mind and opinion of the jury. So that's why you make a fair point that is useful for if we wish to see the cop get locked up, then it will be wise on our part to not talk about that as much. I will give you that point. I will give you that point. I will definitely give you that point. Shout out to you. Appreciate your support. Queen Q in the building. Taser may not have reached her. Fair point. So he shot her. So I can understand that. However, I don't agree with the other officers making fun and chanting Blue Lives Matter to people who were filming. What? Okay, maybe I didn't see that part of the video. I don't agree with the other officers making fun. Oh hell no, they should lose their job for that. We can't prosecute them in criminal court for that, but yeah, they should lose their job. I'm sorry, they got to keep professionalism and decorum, no matter what. No, it's a dead body on that. You said cops were chanting "Blue Lives Matter" to the people whom were filming. Yeah, that's why I'll be a better content creator if I watched more news and watched more TV and watched more of what's going on. But I'd be decompressing after I get off the air. But good stuff. And even though you're a lovely lady, you just became a part of the $10 nation.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want. Everything? Everything. You.
It seemed to me, Mr. Shane Vicious in there with the 666. I guess I'm gonna give you got 5 on it for that. I haven't been on my job. I gotta get different. I'm gonna find something for every dollar amount. But he says it seemed to me that oh my goodness, that young football player intended to commit suicide by cop. No, she intended to stab another black person, and the cop shot her. That's what happened. That's what happened. I'm not upset about that. And here we go. The taser would have reached. They fell by his feet. I got to rewatch it to see that because he seemed pretty far away from the action. Pretty far away from the action. And when she was almost in a downward stabbing motion, I don't think the taser, one, would have had to fire out, land, hit her, and then start electrocuting her. I think she would have been able to finish her stabbing motion. So bare minimum, you would have had a criminal that need to go to jail for attempted murder get tased, and an innocent person. And keep in mind, the lady in the pink, the girl in the pink, she was the only absolutely innocent person. Parker, aka name family. Yeah, get him out of here. Well, no. Just time him out. Time him out. Time his ass out. Time him out to infinity and beyond. I will be getting the Spartan kick. See, when a woman does something to get timed out, when we got to get her out of here and or hide a woman from the channel, we'll be using this one right here. See right there where she inappropriately touched an official, and get her the fuck out of here. But for the when a guy gets out of pocket, I got to get that. This is Sparta. And when Leonidas kicked him into the pit, that's what we got to get for when a guy get out of line in here. So I'm gonna have that one ready to go tomorrow. But y'all can time him out. Don't hide him. Just time him out to infinity and beyond. Get him on out of here. He don't want to be here. It's a bunch of lame, corny niggas. Let's help him. Let's help him out because he don't want to have to hang with us lames and cornballs. But I gotta go rewatch that to see if he was really that close. He seemed like he was far away. The girl in the pink is worth pointing out. She was the only innocent person involved because it was 2 other people that was fighting. It was one grown ass man that was kicking the chick while he was down. Like that Negro could have got shot too far as I'm concerned. I mean, why are you kicking a woman on the ground? I know a lot of people in this space are firmly of the belief if a woman put her hands on you, she can get a bus driver uppercut. But I would hope that we are not of the view that you kick her while she's on the ground. I'm not even firmly of the view if a woman hit you that you gotta just literally like you gotta no. I don't do that. But I've gotten long to the point where I don't argue with men to do that. If any adult human punch you in the face, you are authorized to drop their ass. I give y'all that. I don't do it, but I will give y'all that all day. But to kick a chick while she down, I don't care what happened. No, you don't kick a chick while she on the ground. So, but the chick in the pink, when the cops pulled up, if you just watch the chick in the pink, she walked up to the cop very calm and politely just to let him know what's going on. So I'm kind of assuming she probably called the cops. We don't know this for sure, but when the cops pulled up, she walked up to him to explain what happened, and then the other people started fighting over there, and then some way somehow the chick with the knife charged the chick with the pink, and the cop, torn between a guy kicking a woman on the ground and a fullback trying to stab a woman against a car. He made the split decision to shoot the girl in the pink, who was the only person who was not engaged in a fight until she just was full blown, charged by the person with the knife. And it was said that it was two people. When the police was called, it was said that a girl called the police because two girls was trying to jump her. So I'm assuming the woman that was getting kicked on the ground and the woman who tried to stab the girl in the pink were the two girls that was trying to jump her. And so I'm assuming the dude who kicked the chick while she was down was the guy who was protecting the girl in the pink. That's theory. Theory. Protection. We need to be protected. He's protecting. He's protecting. Anyway, y'all are coming through, bringing a lot of love on the super chat, and I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who support the show in every way that you do. We got 389 people in here, 139 on the likes. 139 on the likes. I appreciate it. But shout out to you, C Iron Addict. I will definitely go and rewatch that video to confirm that he was in that close range when it happened. But I still don't know if he could have closed the gap and tackled her or grabbed her arm or did whatever before she would have been able to run that knife through another person. Like, this is just an open shut case, man. He shot a person attempting to commit murder. How is this one even being debated?
Go, man. I got $2 for you, man. I know I'm a little short, but you can.
Scalper, I will not play the tape on my channel. I'm not going to play somebody being killed or murdered or whatever on my channel. I've done that before. Wasn't a good idea. Done that before. Okay, here y'all go. Oh, y'all doing that now. Okay. Shout out to Silent. I appreciate the $20. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Challenging Obsidian, apparently. I don't approve that message. Even though I've been a beneficiary of some challenges like that, I don't approve that message. I think you should I think y'all ought not do that. But anyway, Silent Mind in the building with the $20, with the $20. I appreciate it.
I want 150,000. But we can set out of court right now for $20.
Man, get your.
Mr. Chain Vicious in the building.
Go, man. I got $2 for you, man. I know I'm a little short, but you can.
Says she looked like she could take a taser shot. Yeah, I mean, tasers, sometimes they'll make somebody and instantly drop, but then sometimes people get hit by that taser and they, sometimes they get hit by that taser and they still can finish doing what they were doing. You never know. Number 16. Second time sending this. I remember Akai Gurley. I apologize if I missed it the first time. Akai Gurley was demonized for his record. I hope I said that name right. For his record, but did nothing wrong when he was shot by the police, as many others. Okay. I mean, fair points. Fair points when the record get pulled out. Fair. I mean, listen, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. A laser focus on exactly what happened in that situation. Now, there have been some times where I didn't knock the other side, because one time the lawyers on the other side released some more adult pictures when somebody got shot. It wasn't on video, but all the pictures. Okay, well, no, Trayvon Martin is the most famous example of that. Nobody had ever seen Trayvon. It wasn't on video. When they released the pictures, they showed pictures of him playing in his Pee Wee football uniform. Okay, the actual updated pictures, he was, a grown ass 6 foot something nigga with gold teeth pointing a gun at the camera while taking a picture. Now, that's wrong, but it's also wrong to show the 12-year-old Pee Wee football picture too. So I mean, but yeah, the record of the person does not. Yes, we need to laser focus on exactly what happened in that situation, and what he did prior to that is shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. We need to laser focus on exactly what happened in the situation. And going forward, I will make sure when we talking about this stuff that we do a better job at staying focused on exactly what happened. Oh, and when I do shows like the one I did yesterday, I will make sure if you remember the Sunday Rumbles before they turned into nigga hour, it used to be the lead off will speak, and then everybody else will speak 5 minutes at a time. You can say whatever you want in your 5 minutes, but in your 5 minutes, everybody got to mute up. If you come off mute, you get back muted. If you keep doing it, you get kicked off. So when we won't do that on every show, but when it's a hot topic like that, where Negroes can't stay calm or can't not go nigga-ish, yeah, we will do a 5 minute at a time speech. You go 5 minutes, everybody mute up. You go 5 minutes, everybody mute up. You go 5 minutes, everybody mute up. And I don't care what ridiculous thing somebody say. If it's your turn to speak after 3 more, you got to wait 3 more people before you can finally respond to that. That used to burn people up when O'Shea used to do that. But it was a way where good debate and good discussion was had. And so I gotta change the format. If it's a hotly debated, contentious issue, I do gotta make a change. I do gotta make a change for the sake of the format of the show. I do, because yesterday it just turned into a shitstorm, which could have been a good discussion, but it turned into a shitstorm. And some of y'all like that. Some of y'all really do like that. So I don't know why I'm fronting, but because a lot of y'all like it, and I don't know why a lot of y'all fronting. But yeah. Somebody said that was her father that kicked the. Oh, now if that was a father protecting his daughter from some wildebeest hyenas that was trying to beat her up, I still say don't kick a chick while she on the ground. But you can. Hey, I don't have a daughter, but my daughter 15, 16, and some hyenas out there trying to jump her. Oh, but bus driver uppercuts are not off the table. I'll just say that. I don't believe in hitting women. Even if a woman hit me in the face, I think I have the temperament to not just full blown drop her like some of you Negroes would. Well, let me see some hyenas out there, pack of hyenas out there trying to jump my daughter. Oh yeah, it's on. So if that was the case, then yeah, okay, then I'll pull back some of the criticism, even though you shouldn't kick a lady when she's on the ground. But Nuruddin back in the building with another one. Appreciate you. Thug gets shot by a police officer, outrage. A good black police officer that got shot by a thug, no outrage. Make that make sense. Niggas. See, Iron Addict. The shot was clean. Don't get me wrong. Deadly force should not have been the first option. That's all I'm saying. You can say deadly force shouldn't be the first option if it's not a life or death situation that met the burden of a life or death situation, the life of the lady in pink, the young 15 to 16-year-old girl in pink. Why does nobody care about her life? Why? I'm just trying to figure that one out. Her life matters, right? Why is nobody caring about that girl's life? The only innocent person, the person who, based off all the evidence we could gather, is the one who called the police because some girls was about to jump her. She was the only innocent party involved. And even when the fight broke out, she didn't even, try to fight back. She just balled up and hoped to not get hurt. That was the only thing that I could. I hate to throw other talking points to the discussion, but if a woman is about to get jumped and she called the police, and then even when the fight starts, she just ball up to try to not get beat up. I'm sorry, that was the only feminine woman in that equation. And we putting the cape on for the masculine gangster boo stab a bitch. Like, no. We can't defend that shit. I saw a little docile woman, a little skinny, petite, docile young lady, scared for her life. That's what I saw. Oh, Queen Q, I missed your super chat. You said the girl in pink is not the victim. The girl with the knife is they came over to jump her. That's why she had a knife. So if they came to jump her, okay, that was a story. Okay, I know where you're coming from with that. I don't think that was confirmed. That's what the mom said. The mom said that the girl with the knife is the one who called the police. Now, if you call the police there and the police show up, you're charging a person standing there talking to the police with a knife. I don't buy that. I'm sorry. I don't. I didn't buy that part of the story. I didn't. That part of the story seemed fishy as hell. Yes, I know the stories. The mother said the girl who got shot was the one who called the police. And she also said her baby's a good girl and she's a good kid, and my baby, my baby, my baby. They baby always is an angel. But Queen Q, I did miss your super chat. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. And see, you sent another one. There have been situations where I've seen where they went with the taser first, and the taser didn't exactly work, and then the taser got took, and then they pulled out the gun. And then shot the person. I actually saw that. I've seen that happen. I've literally seen that happen in some of those videos. That's an example of somebody. He knew he wasn't in a deadly situation, but he did need to de-escalate the situation, so he tased the person. He tried to use. So I've seen that. That was a situation where using non-deadly force on somebody who's using deadly force on somebody else would have been a mistake. That's simple math. That's simple math. Clip the bus driver uppercut. Oh no. No. We're doing the Spartan kick. But that would be funny. That would be a good one. Shut up. Damn, that would be a good one. I gotta consider that. And she restated, I think you're restating the same thing because I missed your first super chat. And you just gonna keep being a part of the $10 nation.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want. Everything, everything. You.
Queen Q, back in the building, says the girl in the pink did not call the police. The girl with the knife did because four girls came to jump, or the one in the pink was one of the girls who came to jump her. Even if that is true, which I kind of don't buy it, but I mean, if I see good evidence for that, evidence other than we know she called the stabber called the police because her mama said it. If we get more evidence than that, obviously I'm going to accept the evidence. But even if we accept that as true, if that was the girl who was potentially about to be jumped, even when a fight, she charged the person with the knife who wasn't actively trying to fight her. The person she charged with the knife was the person who was going to talk to the police. So based off everything I can see with my eyes, the de-escalating person in the equation was the one in the pink. The aggressive one in the equation was the one with the knife who ran to stab the one in the pink who was talking to the police in a very peaceful, non-confrontational way. So the innocent, so based off everything I can see, the innocent party was a person who was balled up on the side of that car, hoping not to get stabbed. And that's that. The Bunker TV, black men plus BBM. What is BBM? Black men plus, I don't know what BBM is. Black baby mama plus female fuckery plus Pookie equals. Oh, okay. Okay. Black man plus black baby mama plus female fuckery plus Pookie equals. Okay. Y'all be here doing some niggonometry and shit. But all right. We got derailed off on this, but when we have these type of discussions right here, when I want to say derailed off because I did come wanted to talk about this a little bit, just touch on this a little bit and talk about the show from yesterday, because when we do these type of things, when we have these type of discussions, I know it gets intense and I got to do better. I've been saying that for a while, but I think the only way to make it work is that if it's a really contentious thing, it's 5 minutes at a time. That's it. So that's what we're doing with that one. Shout out to, man, come on now. I ain't trying to be clipping all that. Y'all trying to get me. No. No. We're not doing all of that. Cut it out.
Go, man, I got $2 for you, man. I know I'm a little short, but you know, you can.
Ebony Brown in the building. Let me see. I don't even know if I could click on that one. I think I may have missed that one. No, I didn't. That one's fresh. Ebony Brown in the building. So maybe they think the black girl magic was going to save the chick in the pink. Yeah. Apparently. Yeah. Bernard, if you take a look at the video closely, the girl was shot in the middle of trying to stab the other one. That's what I've been talking about the whole show. Other one, they have the freeze frame of it. Yeah. No, she just wasn't wielding and she wasn't just holding a knife. She literally came in took like a nigga drop step and like a hop step and was ready to, like, you know, drop step into the dunk. Like that's how she was full blown. She was like this. She was like she was in motion. She was in stabbing motion. Like once the momentum of your arm coming down, like that's like a less than a second motion, right? Like that's faster than 1 second. He had to pull that trigger. He had less than a second. If he would have been less than a second late, that girl would have got stabbed. And this is where y'all lose me. I could put the fist in the air for George Floyd. That shit was wrong. Lock his ass up. Lock Chauvin up. I can put the fist in the air for that one. I can't put the fist in the air for this one. Y'all can't be putting y'all fist in the air for every damn thing. He let her run up in the first place. I'm sure with 2020 hindsight, while watching a guy after a guy was kicking a woman on the ground and then watching two girls fight, I'm quite sure hindsight 2020 plus ninja skills he would have known to, and by ninja I mean actual ninja. Y'all expecting too much from the damn cops at this point. I'm not litigating that no more. He watched her run up. He's supposed to hindsight 2020 the situation and know she was going to pull out a knife and try to kill somebody while also a woman on the ground getting stumped by a man over there. Like, man, y'all tripping. He said, I will also send you the video of a police officer that rolled up on an active shooter, shot and killed the active shooter at Walmart, as he should have. But yeah, man. Let's go. Let's get it. We already 1 hour in. Get out of the news. Says she was on a stab and dump life. Cut it out. Whew. Things have been crazy. This Black YouTube has been very fun, quite the experience. Kevin Samuels have officially passed Derek Jackson in subscribers. The world is changing for the better. The world is changing for the better. What more could I say with that one? The world is changing for the better. Last I looked, Kevin Samuels was at 726K. Derek Jackson is at a whopping, he even lost some more, 722K subs. Even lost a little bit more. Red Sings the Blues. He says these sort of incidents is why I stay away from the news. We will never learn. Also check your email, man. Sent you some notes. Oh yeah, I did see that. I didn't get a chance to reply. You had said something about mics and whatnot. I was busy and I read it on the fly, but didn't come back and respond to it. But yeah, definitely. Definitely. I scanned. You was talking about the SM7V. I think I said it right. That's the one that I'm going to get when I finally quit boiling and get a new mic, because it's hard to even find the pop filter I need to make it not. When I say P, I think it did it static right there. I don't got my earbuds in to hear it. And when I say people, it make a static. I got to get the pop filter I got for that does not work well with this mic, so I might have to either find one online. Oh, you said Shure MV7 is cheaper. Nope, I'm not going cheap. Go big or go home. That's where I'm at with it. Because I ended up with this mic because he sold to me. He sold me on the idea that this mic was no different from the SM7V. He said it was the same thing. It just would be cheaper because I wouldn't have to buy a cloud lifter or something like that. Get out of there, Stream Team Means. I gave you a wrench just so you can quit fucking with me. but yeah, so and that's why I ended up with this mic, because he said, "Oh man, you save $100 if you do blah blah blah." I'm like, all right, cool. And then I, not 100% happy with it, so I should have just spent more money and got exactly what I wanted. So that's what I'm doing next time. Ambush in the building. He says, if the police are so bad, if they're fighting so hard to get rid of them, then why they keep calling them for help? Before I respond to that, Ty City, this mic is supposed to have a built-in pop filter, but it doesn't work. It don't work. They told, yeah, it's supposed to have a built-in pop filter. This is supposed to have a built-in pop filter and a built-in cloud lifter. Well, you see what has to happen here, Ambush. We need to build a separate police force within this country. Nobody else has done that, has their own separate police force, where even though 30% or so of our taxes goes to pay the government, which pays the current police force, we need to pinch off an extra 15% to pay for our own separate police force and make a separate phone, get a separate phone number, 811, so our own police force can show up and be forced to make a split decision to shoot a girl in the back while you're trying to kill another girl. And then we can sleep at night because our own separate police force that we pay an additional 15% for had to make the same decision to shoot somebody. There's literally no evidence that black police officers kill black people any more or any less in those similar situations. No evidence of that at all. None. Zilch, zero. Now, like I said, George Floyd, not George, Chauvin, lock his ass up. I'm all for it. Lock his ass up. I've crossed over to the point where I'm about the optics. I do think it will be overall better if they err more on the side of caution. And the Chauvin thing will make them err more on the side of caution when dealing with black people. And I'm good with that. Optic wise, this is, yeah. It's like things have changed where police officers know they don't got that automatic get out of jail or don't go to jail free card. They know they don't have that now. Well, I won't say they know they don't have that now, because who the hell knows? But it's not as easy to get off. Put it like that. It's not as easy to get off going forward. Nordine in the building says, wow, I'm happy for, I think you mean Mr. Samuels. He knocked off Derek Jackson's crown, and yet he's always talking about don't forget your crown, and now he's a clown. Ha ha. Kareem Adolphus. Here in NYC, Hasidic Jewish people have their own police officers, aka peace officers. Are they really police officers though? I mean, are they really? I mean, I can see how in a tight-knit Jewish community they have people that they delegate as, if there's a confrontation, that person can come up and mediate. But I don't think that person, unless they're so on code to where if that peace officer, who I assume ain't walking around with a pistol, if he have to shoot somebody, what do they do? They got a dead body and a bullet. What their dead body with a bullet in them from one of their peace officers. What do they do with that? Do they end up at the police? I mean, do they how do they report the body? Do they like the ambulance do have to come up and pick the person up? So it do have to be a report. What happened? Well, one of our peace officers had to put down a person who was Oh, really? So you're telling me that the actual police is not going to investigate the peace officer who had to shoot somebody? And so if they're getting investigated by the police after they have to shoot somebody, are they really the police? I would like to know how that works. Because I don't see that working the way you think that it work. Now I do see how a small community can delegate some type of order like that to keep it in house, to keep the peace. So if there's a domestic dispute, the police isn't coming to deal with the domestic dispute. One of their own can come and get in between it. That's a good call, but I don't think that really qualifies as truly doing police work. I don't think it qualifies as that. Why is this such a binary argument? Why can't we want police to behave and protect us as what we? I'm all for that. That's why I proudly say that this is our country too, and our tax dollars pays the government. The government pays the police. In Detroit, where I live close by, there's a 64% black police force that shows up to protect black people when black people call the damn police. That's how it's supposed to work. That's what it is. But even if we built Wakanda today, there still would be some Wakandans that would be criminals. And sometimes those criminals would engage in criminal activity, and the Wakandan PD would have to show up. And in the middle of the Wakandan PD trying to deal with the Wakandan criminals, if the criminal is doing something that shows too much force or too much this or too much that, it's a possibility the Wakandan PD may have to make the same decision that police officer did when he shot that girl who was trying to stab another girl. If one Wakandan is trying to stab another Wakandan, the Wakandan PD would have to make a tough call. I don't think we would want to lock up the member of the Wakandan PD. I don't think so. Now, if somebody on the Wakandan PD does what Chauvin did to George Floyd, then yeah, then that Wakandan police officer needs to be locked up. So what I'm saying is it would be the same thing. So it's not binary for me. I'm showing that it's case by case. Lock Chauvin up, but that cop didn't do nothing wrong. That's how it's supposed to work. Kareem Adolphus, you already read that one. Mr. Shane Vicious says they have tribal police departments. I'll investigate that and see what that's about and see to what extent and what power do they have. I'll check that out. I'll put that on my agenda sheet. Damn. Come on. I know I didn't miss. Almost fantastic super chat almost got away. Damn, I didn't hear anyone talking about that MV7 in this sector. How could any expert miss out on suggesting one of the most best mics? Even KS is using it, and I had mine before him. Can take credit for this mic now. Hey, fantastic. If you got a mic that you're not using, I remember you said it before. I don't know if maybe you're using it now, but you said you had a mic that you were sandbagging on, that you didn't want to use it just because you didn't want somebody else to say that now, oh, look, now he upgrading his mic. Man, just fuck it. Just go ahead and use the good mic, man. Don't be stubborn. Don't jeopardize or compromise the sound quality of your show out of stubbornness because you don't want to give somebody a small victory, man. Go on and use that mic. If you got it, I remember you said that you was holding back on using your new mic that you bought because you ain't want to hear nothing. Nah, go on in.
I want 150,000. But we can settle out of court right now for $20.
Man, get your
Kareem Adolphus. Well, I saw something where Obsidian said something about the title where he says women keep making our points for us. Yes, I was going to talk about that, but sometimes the audience have spoken, and this is what the audience want to talk about, and this is what we're talking about. So I'm going to change the title because I listen to the audience, the super chat, the audience, the comments, and more importantly, the super chats have spoken. So the topic has changed. If we circle back to that, we circle back to that. But Kareem Adolphus in the building. He says a peace officer has jurisdiction over a particular area. For example, Co-op City in the Bronx has a police department that carry firearms. Okay, so you're saying they're an actual police department? Like, could somebody who's non-Jewish, could they work for that police department? I'll investigate how it works. You can't answer all my questions in the super chat. So I'm not gonna. I got too many questions when it come to that. I got too many questions when it come to that. Shout out to Snuggles in the building.
Hi, I'm Snuggle. Snuggly softness. That's really less expensive.
Shout out to Snuggles. He says, your thoughts on what Candace Owens said about Derek Chauvin not getting a fair trial. I didn't hear what she said. But I will look into that too. I'm not shocked. And that's my problems with black conservatives whose audience is primarily white people. I just always feel like they're going to toe the party line. You can't go against your audience. You got to give the people what they want. And her people are white people. And so I feel like they're duty bound to toe the party line no matter what. Whereas me, see, I could be a black conservative, I could vote Republican, but I could say, nah, this stuff is wrong. When they say that Maxine Waters said something that implied to people that to burn shit down if George Floyd is found if Chauvin is found not guilty, I can look at that and say, yeah, she did. And yeah, I can look at it and say, yeah, and all of those threats of stuff getting burned down is swayed the jury. I can be honest and say that. But I also can be honest and say that, yeah, Trump did also say some things to embolden people to do certain things. And some people did those things. You see? So, but you get a Candace Owens or a Brandon Tatum or even an ABL, they're going to tap dance around that. And I like ABL. But they're going to tap dance around that and they're going to toe the party line. And then they're going to wait for the situation where, a situation like this where I think most thinking people can agree that it's legitimate. The cop did what he had to do when he shot the girl in the back. I think most people agree that was a okay shot. That was he had to do what he had to do. He had to save that girl's life. They wait for something like that, and then they gotta make every point possible, and because that fits their narrative perfectly. But they may keep silent on some other issues. And then even when it's a debatable issue, which way they always going to lean consistently every time, no matter what. So that's why I shout out Obsidian and O'Shea, because it was the first time I heard black male conservatives with a 100%, damn near 100% black male audience speaking to black men about conservative politics and viewpoints and ideologies and the whole works. And that's where I was like, yes, this was good stuff here, but I don't know. I just have a hard time listening to a black conservative if your whole audience is white. Yeah, Type City. They won't police like Otis. They want Otis out there policing. Platinum Elite in the building. Only racists care about the color of the cop. You sound like a liberal today. Platinum, you ain't making no damn sense. But appreciate the appreciate the $5. If anybody listening to me and understand what I'm saying, the color of the cop shouldn't matter as much. That was the whole point of my Wakandan example. The Wakandan PD, if we built Wakanda, the Wakandan PD would have to arrest and shoot or taser somebody every now and then. It's just statistically probable. That was me saying that the color is irrelevant. Damn. I got to pull up I gotta clip that, and I can't clip. Nope, I can't clip that from StreamYards. I can't clip that from StreamYards, and I don't got the YouTube feed up. Email that to me. BernardRiley99@gmail.com. Email that. My email is in the about section, so email that to me. Oh yeah, I already addressed that. The subject has changed. The subject has changed. The audience has spoken. So I'm probably gonna open it up in a little bit. It's 11. I said I was rolling until about 12. I think Obsidian is coming on right after me. So I'm probably about to open this bad boy up in a little bit. He says, 205 Will says, this was a perfect escalation of force. Yes. When knives are out, guns are supposed to be drawn. You are supposed to shoot to incapacitate. So 4 shots, okay. I've always been divided on that, where police officers, they seem to empty the clip whenever they shoot. Like, you very rarely just see them go, pow. Now, maybe there's a reason behind that, something I don't understand. Maybe Pablo could speak on that. But yeah, I don't like how they empty the clip. I think you can get the death total down if you just went with 1 shot. Like, I'm okay with that. 1 shot. But I mean, I know 4 is not emptying the clip, but sometimes they like, yeah, I ain't feeling that. I'm not feeling that at all. Blacks were in the building with the $2, $1, $2, $3 shot.
Scammers go, man. I got $2 for you, man. I know I'm a little short, but you know, you can.
Let me get that RoboCop. I'll buy that for $1. Yeah, that's a good one. That's good added in there. Even though I love that we got Smokey on it for the $1 super chat, but that's a good one. That's a good one.
Wait a minute. What's this? This ain't enough. Make it enough.
Good stuff right there. Good stuff right there. I gotta get that one. I'll buy that for $1. Yeah, all day. All day. Shout out to you. Good suggestion. Good suggestion. He says, would you let me go live with you and explain my points quickly? Yes, I'm about to open it up so you can briefly touch on that, but I'd rather you send me the email too so I can research it. Why was a 30-year-old fighting a teenager at a foster home? Who was 30? I don't know who was 30. I don't know the ages of anybody in the equation. Indigenous TV says LeBron James is a cancer and he was wrong for that tweet. He was trying to fix that cop. I didn't even see the tweet. Like I said, I got to do better at keeping up with this shit. but I didn't see the tweet, but I understand that he said that something along the lines of saying that he's next, and nah, I disagree with that one. All right, Black Dodger in the building. All right, hold on. You meant docs. Okay. I meant docs. He was trying to dox that cop. Yeah, either way. Either way. Thanks for the correction, and thanks for another super chat on top of that. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, indigenous. Most Americans are moderates, neither Democratic or Republican. People who claim a side are not to be trusted. No, you can legitimately lean more right than left, or you can legitimately lean more left than right, and then not be some villain that shouldn't be trusted. You are right, however, that I'd say a third are moderate. The way it typically works, there's normally about 33% that's going to vote Republican every time, about 33% is going to vote Democrat every time, and then there's a 33% in the middle that could go either way. So, but even amongst the people that strongly vote Republican and strongly vote liberal, a lot of them are moderate. They're not all the way far to the right or far to the left, you see. So I do understand where you're coming from there. I do understand where you're coming from there. Buck Dodger 1906 in the building. He says, Bernard, I heard of an incident where a cop shot a suspect once and the suspect ended up still killing the cop. I've seen videos like that. Now that I think about it, I've seen those. Listen, man, I don't put a cape on for bad cops, but if you watch more, like do some research and watch the videos that don't go as viral, and you see the situations where cops take a L, where a cop, let his guard down and was chill and wouldn't, and then somebody, people be killing cops. I mean, but I'm not gonna put a cape on for the bad ones. Not gonna put a cape on for the bad ones. But yeah, I've seen those videos. I now that you mention it, I've definitely seen those videos. Absolutely. Absolutely. But all right. Old country, you're trying to oversimplify these arguments for your bullshit. Link is in the chat. Anybody want to come up? I'd like to thank everybody who contributed today. A lot of people showed a lot of love on the super chat. Are they timing people out? That don't look like a good timeout. Silent. Let me double check. Chief Rocker, I didn't see yours. Silent. Don't go crazy with your timing out, man. I didn't even see Chief Rocker. Pablo in the building. Look like you in police uniform.
Well, I'm not the police anymore. Although I do enforce the law, it's just environmental law. It's not criminal law.
Hold on real quick before we get into that. Chief Rocket in the building says, peace be Riley. Why not have a panel with current and former law enforcement officers to give perspective from a personal aspect? We de facto have done that.
I was about to say that. I reached out to Officer Faulkner for him and I to do something. Maybe we should do it on your show and bring some of the other guys that have been in law enforcement in, so we can discuss Graham versus Connor, which I did last night. I did a breakdown of Graham versus Connor
I saw
from the
some of it.
Derek Chauvin case, and from this recent case with the teenage girl in Ohio. Two different situations, and then you'll understand how one is illegal and prohibited under Graham versus Connor, and one is a good legal use of force. Matter of fact, it's textbook.
Yeah, good stuff. Shout out to number 16. Says Bernard, you need glasses. We've already established that. Even though my mom.
Here we go, man. I got $2 for you, man. I know I'm a little short, but you can.
Is a little closer, so I definitely been doing better with that lately, but I still be messing up. What was it? Well, hold on real quick. I'm gonna go to Kareem real quick. What was it that you were trying to explain? I do want to circle back to Pablo on the police shooting thing, but Kareem, you was trying to explain something about the Jewish peace force.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me clear? Okay, no, yeah, because you talked about starting our own police department, and I was bringing up, I live in New York City. So here we, like, for example, Co-op City is the largest co-op complex in America. There's
What is a
5
co-op?
sections.
What is a co-op complex?
Well, they're high-rise buildings, 30 to 40 something floors, and there's 5 different sections with these buildings. So
So a
here in New
co-op
York,
hold on. So a co-op complex is just a series of buildings.
yes, there is a bunch of buildings, and this area is in the northeastern part of the Bronx. It's 5 sections. It's a huge complex. So here in New York City, there's something called the Special Officers Test. It's so basically when you join the NYPD, you need an associate's degree here. But if you don't want to do that, you can take the Special Officers Test, become a peace officer, and then work for them for 2 years, then transfer to the NYPD to avoid getting that 2 year degree. So these peace officers, they take the same academy classes under the Department of Justice. They do the same police academy training, the same physical training, and they just have jurisdiction over that neighborhood or whichever, whether it's a building, they can conduct arrests, they carry arms, they even have an emergency service unit like the police. But of course, I was saying the NYPD is the primary police department of the city, of course. But if something happens in that area, the CCPD has jurisdiction first because they are the police peace force in that area.
Okay, so this conversation started from me saying that um I was basically responding to something that somebody else said. It basically went down the rabbit hole of, well, black people need to be policing our own communities. And I was pointing out, well, one, I point out that in places like Baltimore, Atlanta, Detroit, Philly, it's a better than 50% black police force. But overall, the thing that I pointed out is there's no other group that's literally policing their own communities. So this peace force is race specific, you're saying?
Well, and the Hasidic Jews here in New York, I don't know if you've seen their neighbors in Brooklyn. They have their own everything. They have their own hospitals. They have their
No, no,
own schools.
hold on. Are we talking about
Yeah.
the police? Because yeah, I like
No,
okay,
but
there's a lot of
they have a
there.
police force, just like there's a peace
Okay, wait
officer
a minute,
force
wait a
called.
minute. This wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Let me make sure I get exact questions right. So this peace force, it's race specific.
Yes, in a Hasidic Jewish neighborhood, yes, it's their people. They have their own Jewish police force. Yes, they have their own. I'm trying to say they have their own everything, and everything in their neighborhood is them. They
No,
own
no,
everything.
yeah. I mean, I get that part. I mean, like there's like for example, like there's black schools and there's black banks, and we got that. We don't coalesce it right in the same place at the same time around all black people. But I mean, but I understand that. But as far as an actual recognized police force, that's race specific, and that cop can shoot somebody, and so they're more or less connected. They more or less connected to the NYPD, to where they're not going to get investigated for the shooting, is what I'm saying.
They may be investigated because the NYPD is the primary police force. But I was going to actually tell you my intent for saying for telling basically bringing that up. We could start a peace force.
I think what Bernard is asking. I think what Bernard is asking though, is it a police? Is it that they're policing their neighborhoods and their neighborhoods are predominantly Jewish by happenstance, or by,
No, this is what's
it
going
by?
on. This is what's going on as a fellow New Yorker on the Brooklyn side. He's in the Bronx side. I'm on the Brooklyn side. What you have, they like auxiliary police departments, basically, right? They're pretty much neighborhood watches that turned into security bodies. That's basically what they are. Co-op City is basically like, Co-op City is where the people who live in a building, they cooperatively own the building together, right?
Together.
So it's almost like a HOA thing. So that's why they get the special police, auxiliary police, and things of that nature, because it goes with the security apparatus of their overall Co-op City plan or infrastructure, right?
Yeah,
Co-op
and
City is like
they started carrying a few years ago too.
Yeah, they
So,
started carrying a few
yeah,
years
they
ago. They
started
got
carrying a
some
few years
special
ago.
permit from the state, because it's hard to get a gun in New York. So they had to get a special amendment of their bylaws and everything that they did.
So let me
long
just
story short, hold on, if I can ask AC this question. It sounds like that within that area, basically, it's like glorified security guards.
Basically, that's all, bro. It's just
no, but what I was gonna explain though is they still go to the police academy. So here's the thing: the special officers test. You can work for CCPD. We also have the DHS, Department of Housing Services. They have a police department, but they don't carry. Parkchester is another area. They have their own police force. They're peace officers in City University of New York colleges. So these people, they take the same training
Who do
that
they get
the
paid by?
NYPD.
Who do they get paid by? Hold on,
They
real quick.
they get paid by that police force. What I'm saying is, Co-op
where
City
did that
was.
police force get the money from?
They get it from being Co-op City.
Yeah,
they
get it from like basically the maintenance fees.
So the maintenance fees. So it's not like tax dollars are going to
it's
fund
basically
this.
like the HOA fees. The HOA fees and all the fees that they pay to be a part of Co-op City goes into funding the auxiliary security, because it's just basically
and they get paid less too than the police and the NYPD. So you know what they do?
Time out. It costs a lot of money to basically. It sounds like it costs a lot of money to live in Co-op City. You got to pay the Co-op City fees, so to speak, to live in this area.
It's a Mitchell building.
It's a what?
So Mitchell Lama, it was a program started by two politicians within the 50s, early 60s, to where if you put the more money you put up front, the less your rent is monthly. So if you put up, let's say $20,000, you'll get a 3-bedroom for like $600 to $800.
So it's basically like condos.
Yes, similar to condos. But what I was gonna say real quick,
you buy into it.
Yeah, real quickly. So with this police, they still they got certain carte blanche with the Department of Justice. Like I said, they go through the same police academy. NYPD is one of the only fewest police departments where you have to have an associate's degree. But you can go become a peace officer, and you can do 2 years and then go to the NYPD without getting the associate's degree.
So well, that's because you did the auxiliary training under them. So the qualifications that you might have got with the associate's degree, you kind of on the job training, life experiences kind of marks that
the
out.
NYPD is not the only. the NYPD is not the only agency that polices New York City. You also have MTA police, which is
Port Authority Police
very
too.
Port Authority, which is New York and New Jersey, and MTA is New York and
MTA,
Connecticut.
Yep, they do the Metro
MTA is
North
New.
trains. The Metro
That's
North
right.
trains. Yep.
Metro North and Long Island Railroad.
Well, that's not
And
Connecticut. That's not like that's their police
Yeah,
departments
but
belong to
they're
like
police departments. They're
Port
not like
Authority.
what Barnard
Yeah,
was
they
asking
belong to
about.
Port
Yeah,
Authority.
yeah. But what I wanted to say real quickly, and I'll wrap it up.
Before you say that real quick, let me shout out Snoopy Chat. We got Snuggles back in the building.
Hi, I'm Snuggles.
All right. Snuggles says, so you are still going to alpha your way through needing glasses. Yes. Soon you won't even be able to do live streams anymore because you can't see. Yeah, I'm gonna get me a lady to come in here and read the super chats for me when I go blind. But all right. Thank you, Snuggles, for the super chat. I don't know if I missed somebody else. Super chats. I know I saw something. Mr. Shane Vicious in the building. He says that's area specific. Okay, he's talking about what we was talking about there. Thanks, Mr. Shane Vicious, for the super chat. All right. I still want you to email me the information on
that.
I
emailed it to you already because what I was saying with them, like they can do arrest and everything. As a matter of fact, that's why they have them at the colleges. Warrants, everything. Like, they are peace officers, and
but only in
they
that
have
area though.
Yes, they have. That's what I
go
clear.
beyond Co-op City.
Yes. They just have.
They can if there's an active shooter.
They can't go past Co-op City either. If
they can
a shooter or not. They have no jurisdiction past Co-op City.
No. It was amended. They can now. It was amended. Like if there's
through Homeland Security, basically.
Yeah. They have a Homeland Security grant.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But that's only if the active shooter is close by. If it's like because remember in the Bronx,
so it's a certain mileage.
Like iffy. Yeah, to a certain mileage. Like I know Mount Vernon can come into Co-op City if there's an active shooter in Co-op City and they can't find the guy. And so can Co-op City. It has to be an extreme emergency.
Yeah, right. That's right. Like
that's what I'm talking about.
Outside of that extreme, they have no.
Outside that extreme, yeah.
Right,
yeah, but if there's
have you guys ever heard of
something?
Have you guys ever heard of the Muslim Patrol as well in Brooklyn? The Muslim Patrol, they cars are just like the NYPD cars.
No, I haven't seen those.
So many complaints.
I haven't seen them in a minute.
Yeah, they armed and everything. There's been so many complaints against them, man.
Oh, really? Hold on, wait. Time out. It sounds like you got a situation where black people built their own de facto police force.
This is actually Arabs. Like they're Arab,
black people.
and African
my
Muslims.
bad. Okay,
they're Muslims.
And so, all right. Okay, so they Arabs, and then what? So the Arab people are complaining about being policed by their own
non-Arab.
Oh, non-Arab.
Yeah, because
Oh,
they're just using it as a muscle, right? To harass people that they don't think belong in their community. It's no different than the Jews who have the security forces in their community. It's just basically Gestapo security.
And those houses
forces.
are beautiful.
Hold on, bro. Can I finish? Let me finish. Can I finish?
Nardine, you gotta do a better job with the. You be interrupting like crazy, man. Like you gotta.
My bad.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, AC.
But basically, Bernard, what it is these people are creating these security forces as they gentrify these areas, and they're just making them more ethnic enclaves to their group, right? So then they're creating these security forces as like apparatuses to kind of, intimidate the leftovers of the black people that's still there or Spanish people, because they're kind of merging into neighborhoods that was diverse at once upon a time, and the prices are starting to price people out. So now they're using the security forces to reinforce that we're trying to turn this into these ethnic enclaves.
And what they do is they get bonded. They get bonded to carry. They go grease the palms of the DOJ, and they get certain bonds, certain insurances, a carry license, peace officer certificates, the whole nine, licenses, everything. And they actually, the NYPD can't stand them because you're not supposed to make your car look like a law enforcement car. Their cars look exactly like the NYPD cars, just with different lettering.
Wow. So so in those tight areas, they are able to basically um fake it, fake it till they make it with some
Yeah.
police authority, because the average person, they just say a nigga going for a walk and he cutting through there, he don't know that they ain't the real deal.
No, he
Yeah, I
know.
can.
They know. They know they're not the real deal. That's what it
No,
is. Like, you don't want to. It's like when you have a confrontation with them, when NYPD pull up, you're gonna look like the. You know what I mean? It's gonna look
yeah,
like you're the one that's the aggressor, right? Like, you know how it go. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what it's about.
yeah. So it sounded like,
Yeah.
which I ultimately talking about, places where basically people that got bread, a lot of money, they build up those little places. You got to have a shitload of money to live there. You got to pay, whatever, dues, fees, taxes, and all of that. Not taxes, but whatever dues or fees that ultimately pays the glorified security guards
Yeah,
who
exactly.
walk around masquerading as police over a little tight knit area of about 1,000 people, something like that.
Hey,
Nah,
hey
Co-op
Bernard.
City
Hey,
humongous.
so
Co-op
Bernard,
City
check
Yeah,
this
fucking
Co-op
out,
City
right?
is
humongous.
huge. I used to live there.
That shit humongous.
Yeah, it's 5
It
Check,
sections,
is.
check,
man.
So
hey,
Quad
check this
City,
out,
whatever
Bernard.
that is, it's like roughly the size of a. I don't want to say the
Small
size of an
city.
actual city, but
Yeah,
it's
it's the size
it's
of a small city.
the size of a real
Yeah,
Literally.
small
and it's
city.
beautiful.
Wow, wow, wow. Fatal
I
Dose
used
was
to
trying to
live
say
there.
something, but hold on, real quick before you say anything. Fatal Dose, the Swooviest in the building with a super chat. Appreciate you.
I want 150,000. So we can set out of court right now for $20.
Man, get your
The Swooviest says statistically, most homicidal cases of black people murdering other BP were associates to an extent. Yes, it's absolutely true. Just like that was an associate about to stab a fellow associate. But anyway, this is an in-house issue. But when someone of another race murders BP, it is an act of war. That's the point. Some of us are missing. I looked at the Chauvin being on George Floyd's neck. I've been converted to the point of him not getting up like that. I took it as an act of war. God damn it, lock his
Hey,
ass
Bernard,
up.
let me ask you a question, big
But
bro.
So
real
Let me ask you a
can
question.
I jump in here?
but
Yeah,
yeah,
my bad,
Hey,
Phil.
Bernard, can I give you the population of Co-op City real quick?
yeah, real quick.
43,752. And mind you, the Bronx, the borough of the Bronx has over 1 million people. So it's New
Yeah,
York
I
City.
mean
So
That's
that's still
basically
technically a small city. Like my city is
yeah,
small,
it is.
and
Yeah.
it's like 200,000 people, and
Yeah,
my city is
exactly.
considered real small. So, but even still, that's still a lot. That's still a lot, no
Yeah,
doubt
there's a
about that.
lot in one area. Yeah, it's densely
Yeah,
populated.
Demetric
Yep.
Armstrong, he says, "What's up, Bernard? I just tuned in. I had to show some love. Absolutely, positively appreciate it." We got to go to Fatal Dose in the building. Fatal Dose. Hold your thought on that question, AC. But Fatal Dose was trying to get in here.
All right, yeah. So, uh, what the one thing that's missing is the understanding of how policing and on a government level works, right? Based on the Constitution, there's only two groups that's allowed. The only type of people that's allowed to enforce policing are elected officials. So the president of the United States, who then could have U.S. Marshals or the FBI under him, and your county sheriff.
Sheriff.
Every
Yep.
other police organization is a private organization. Look up
Yep.
their charter. They will tell you they're a private organization. So there's no such thing as for faking the funk as a police. You know, if you're Arab who's a private organization, you may not like them, but and this is why
They're not a
the
police
other
force,
police
though.
may not like them, but they're not going to arrest them because they have the same police power,
They
right?
have no
So,
police power. The Arab group has no police power. The group
right,
in
but
Co-op
they
City
don't.
has power.
Right,
The
but
Arab
what I'm saying is what I'm saying is they can have police power if the charter of the city, the incorporation of the city, if they change their charter to give them that police power, and all it takes is political muscle and money for you to get that done. So black people can get their own police force, but I don't see the point of it because you'll just be getting shot by people that look like you instead of white people.
Exactly.
Like, why do
Not to
y'all do that,
mention,
though? Like, why do
hold
y'all do
on,
that,
hold
though?
on,
Why do
hold
y'all
on,
play
hold on,
that
hold on,
game
real
like
quick.
that?
Hold on, AC.
Why do
Hold
y'all
on,
do that?
AC. Hold on. I did see some stats that show that black police officers shoot black people at the same rate that white police officers shoot black people. But go ahead, AC.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Like they throw that out there to say that we don't need anything. Like we can't have black police force because we'll kill each other. We can't have black nice neighborhoods because we'll kill each other. Like, so what can we have? So we're just gonna have an integrated life and be places where black people can be accountable and responsible to police their own and create their own commerce and thriving communities. That's
Well,
what we're saying.
no,
Because
you
every time
We
black
already
people
have them. We already have them.
explain.
We already have them.
Explain.
Prince
Elaborate.
George's County, Maryland,
I
DeKalb
mean, but that's
County.
right. But those are not black communities, as in they were
Yeah, they
founded by
are.
black people. They're
They,
no,
Wait,
they,
hold
they
on.
no, they
Time
weren't
out.
founded by
I
black
just
people.
I just had
Can
an
I just
idea.
finish, please?
Wait a
Can I
minute.
just finish? Yeah,
All right, but I just had a brilliant. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead. This is your show. Go ahead.
Okay, here's the deal, Pablo. When you talk about those areas where black people live and black people are doing good, those
No,
communities.
dominate. No, dominate.
Yes,
They run
absolutely.
the
Those
police
are those.
departments, the
Oh,
fire departments,
are you just
the
saying? Are
county
you hold on?
government.
Wait. Hold on? Wait. Are you talking about like they run it in the sense that, like I always say, like it's like 55% black, the police department, or
No,
they're the
no,
whole damn
no,
thing?
no. I'm talking about 70 and up.
Okay,
They
and now
dominated.
here's the deal with that area. These are upper middle class blacks, correct?
Some are, some aren't.
Because my whole thought process is the places that are dominated by black people who are doing well, who are running every level of the government there, and they're dominating the police force. And these areas are if we're talking about the areas that could afford to do with, what did I say, Cloud City or whatever these other enclaves, whatever these enclaves are doing, where they come in with money and they're essentially paying for their de facto police force. Black people that have coalesced together, either deliberately or by accident, where they can afford to do that, are those would ultimately make up the black communities that don't even need all that type of policing. You see what I'm saying? It would be more so just symbolic,
so
keeping other people out of our shit.
So let me give you an example.
Hold on, but real quick. Even if black people started doing exactly what we saying they need to do, it wouldn't reach the poor areas that really need the policing. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So we have a city here in Georgia called South Fulton, the city of South Fulton. And we have another city in DeKalb County called, it'll come to me in a minute. But these are brand newly incorporated cities, run predominantly governed by black people, with the overwhelming majority of the residents are black people. And they are newly incorporated cities. So they have predominantly black police forces, predominantly black city councils, the whole kit. So
But are they
I'm
incorporated when
telling
they
you, we have it.
incorporated by
We
black
already
people?
have it. Huh?
No, I'm saying, are they incorporated by when they got their
Yes.
incorporation, when they petitioned the state and the
Yes.
county government for which they live in? These were black people that founded these cities.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
And
that's dope.
yes.
That's dope. That's dope. I've never heard of them, but that's
What
dope.
does it? Hold on. What does it mean to
Look it up.
found
Look it
a
up.
city? When you say
The city
he
of
said
South
black people,
Fulton.
he said
You
black people
create
founded
what you
these
do.
cities.
You buy a parcel of land, right, Bernard? You buy a parcel of land, right, and then you incorporate that land, right, and then you make it. You say it's either a land or you'll give it a name. You'll say it's a town or something. So then you petition the county government where the land is at, and you say we want to start our own little incorporated town. Most cities in towns in America are incorporated towns. They had to kind of solicit somebody, put in a petition, and then get, like, I guess back then it was probably signatures. I don't know what the perimeters are now. And then you could say you're a hamlet, you could say you're a township, you could say you're a borough. It's whatever you describe, your nomenclature that you use, and then you get incorporated through the county and the state. And then they'll give you your seal and your flag and all that shit, and then they'll acknowledge you through their state and county and federal records.
See, now
So a city.
the way
So
that
check this.
I normally thought it worked, and this is what a lot of people do. They just start gradually just buying up property in a certain area, and then their people just over time just just overtake that area, basically, just through a gradual process. But that's how I normally looked at it. When they say, "Yeah, what community have you built?" I mean, nobody truly built. Nobody's pioneers nowadays. But typically, people just buying land. But all right.
Hey Bernard, check this out though, right?
Real quick. The other city that I was talking about is
somebody
Stonecrest.
dropped the link. Somebody dropped the link for Edward Anderson. By the way, go ahead.
It was Stonecrest. It was the city of Stonecrest. They wanted me to go and work doing what I do right now for the city of Stonecrest.
Mm-hmm.
Overwhelmingly majority black incorporated city.
Yeah. So this is what a lot of brothers don't understand, right? When the city is created, it has nothing to do with your county and state government. Those are governments. What we call city governments are just CEOs and presidents and structured to fool us into thinking that it's a government, and we voluntarily give them power over us while we're in those cities.
This is crazy.
So we can build our own cities.
Bro, you can't put false information out there and then tell us we don't understand. And you just
hold on, AC. Hold on. You can get next, and I want you to surgically pick apart what was wrong with what he said. But let's let the brother finish. I don't think he was insidious. I don't think he was insidious in putting out the wrong information. He probably just mistaken if he is wrong. But go ahead.
I'm not mistaken. If you live in the city, you're voluntarily giving them power over you. You are not demanding the cities to go and change their charters. How many people have gone to the police department and say, you need to reform your charter and do A, B, C, D into your charter? How many of people have gone to their mayors and their city councils and say, you need to reform your charter and add A, B, C, D as reforms? They don't, right? So it's not that we can't do it. It's just that people are just ignorant on how their city level government is run. No one ever reads the Constitution. No one ever reads their state charter. No one ever reads their county or city charters. They just hear things and they think this is how things are done, and it's based on ignorance. I've read my city charter where I live. I've read the state Constitution, and so I know what I'm talking about.
All right. We're gonna pass to the AC because he has some objection to what Fatal Dose was saying. But Tank Johnson in the building with the super chat. Appreciate that.
What do we get for $10? Everything you want. Everything? Everything. You
appreciate that. He says, if I was on that force, the first problem I would deal with our Caribbeans and Africans. I don't know. I don't even know what to do with that one. But thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. So go ahead, AC. You had an objection to something that Fatal Dose said.
Yeah, a couple things. We all understand, right? If you understand how American, I guess you would say, the separation of church and state, if you understand how that works, right? Where the federal government is the precedent when it comes to particular laws that are federal laws. They really have no say in state laws, right? But your state laws are governed. They govern your county and your city, right? And then you have county and state, I guess you would call laws or whatever, rules and regulations that are also, followed by the county and city and things of that nature. People change. People go and demand things from cities all the time. Seattle just got their whole budget reformed based on the city council. Minnesota just changed things. Cities change things all the time based on pressure from their constituents. Think about this. The people wanted Bloomberg to run again. The charter said that you could only run for 2 terms of New York City mayor. So what did the people do? The people came out. They said, we like him as a mayor. He's doing good on crime, blah, blah, blah. Guess what happened? The charter got changed. He got 4 more years. So the people do in America. See, what happens is a lot of foreigners come and try to tell Americans what our existence is and how we live, thinking that we're ignorant and we don't know. But a lot of us do know, right? So we have to push back on things like this, where they come and tell us that we don't know what's going on, where we can give them ample examples of how charters are changed based on the constituency pushing and demanding different.
How many Negroes you seeing out there demanding the police reform based on the city charters?
You see a lot. If you go in the South, if you go in Atlanta, if you go in the South, you'll see a lot of cities. Jackson, Mississippi, places where there are black mayors, where there are large black populations. Stockton, California, Compton. You will see it if you just look. If you just stop calling us Negroes and you call them actual citizens and people, you'll see that they're very civically engaged when it comes to particular things. But we just get this generalized brand label that people don't know. There's people that come on Bernard's show every day that show that they have some idea of what takes place in America. Like, everybody may not be civically engaged, but there are a lot of black people that understand how the process works, and always using the underprivileged or the less fortunate as an example of not knowing, or the ignorance, is just a generalization that doesn't do black people any good.
I'm generalizing because in general, it's you see. I'm not saying there's not brothers that don't know this stuff. It was black people that actually taught me a lot of this stuff. So you got me wrong, bro. A lot of what I learned from black people. You know, that actually understood and explained the stuff to me and point me to books and things I can read. So my point is that the people that are hollering the hardest about how bad things are the ones that are the ignorant one and not doing anything about it. And I'm not defending.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah, I'm not going to defend those people and
He's
pretend
not
that.
right. This is just the stick that goes over here. He's not right. You guys don't even really engage with those kind of people to determine or gauge what they're.
So now you're generalizing us.
Right.
I'm not generalizing anybody. I'm taking y'all words.
You just said you guys.
Hold on, wait.
You came in and chimed in and said he was right, right? So I'm talking to you guys. You are a guy, right? You are a man. Right?
Oh, well, us too. Okay.
All right, hold on, wait. Let me back up, because I was fixing and editing something. So, damn, somebody sound like they cleaning up a attic or something.
Me. My bad.
yeah, hold on, mute up for a second, Ed. But what if Fatal does? I'm sorry. Reiterate what you said, or say it again. When Ed jumped in and said that is right, I missed that part because I was trying to handle a situation in the chat. Make that point again so I can get caught up.
So what I'm saying is that there's two classes of black people in this country, right? There's brothers that actually know how things work, and then there are people who are just hollering without even thinking about how the system itself is set up and work. And they're the loudest. They're the ones that are always crying foul when things happen, because they are not taking the time out to educate themselves. And to them, ignorance is bliss. And they don't care that in order for them to get a functioning society and for them to get the things they need out of society, they have to participate in the system. You can't ignore the system and not know how the system works and then cry foul when the system does what it was set up to do. That's what I'm referring to.
Let me ask you a question.
Right.
Why do you foreigners feel so emboldened to speak about what African Americans do and don't do?
Bro, I grew up in this country, man.
I was just about to say.
I understand that. Can I jump in here?
Hold on. Let me get that question answered, and you can.
I grew up in this country. What are you talking about?
Whether you grew up here or not is not what I asked you.
That don't mean shit.
Wait, stop! Everybody, stop!
That's not what I asked.
Stop it for a second. All right, if Fatal Dose came over here a couple years ago, I feel you, AC, a little bit. But Fatal Dose, how long you been here?
I've been here almost 40 years, man.
He one of us. Like, come on now. Like, we not about to do that.
Well, Bernard. The reason
that's not what I'm point. That's not my point, Bernard. My point is this: it seems like they view us from a helicopter view, because if he really was in the African American community, he know how long we've been fighting for these things, right?
Bro, hold on. Let me jump in here. You don't know nothing about me, bro.
So this is gonna turn into a back and forth.
I was rolling with the.
Let me hop in.
Let me just say this.
Stop. Everybody stop. All right. Listen. We not about to do this. Fatal Dose. I don't even feel you gotta. you don't even have to show your credentials as far as I'm concerned. You don't got to even lay them out. Once you say you've been here in America for 40 years and the position that you're taking, like when AC said how, they don't know how long we've been fighting for this stuff. There are people that have been here that were born here or came here at 5 that understand the history and understand how long they've been black people been fighting for it, and they take the same exact position as Fatal Dose. So you can't invalidate.
Yeah, Bernard, but that, and also hold on, there's African Americans that share that view.
Join the panel because you're not smart. Stop trying to act like you're smart.
Now this is some ad hominem bullshit.
Stop it.
Let me hop.
Chill. Everybody chill. AC, you can't spaz out on somebody in the chat. I mean, if somebody in the chat say something stupid, you can address them in the chat. Don't spaz out on the panel over what somebody said in the chat. Let's not do that. Let's keep it decent. I'm not gonna let this turn into a shitstorm. That happen again. No, cool. I understand. I get it. I get it.
Something real quick.
I get it. All right, go ahead. Ed, did you say what you want to say? Oh, damn, whoever had that.
No, I didn't.
Appreciate it. Yeah, Ed didn't even say what he came up to say, and then we're gonna start passing it around. But all right.
Yeah, here's my thing. As far as Fatal Dose or the dude that's, been here 40 years concerned, there's a lot of African Americans that share that view. So the first thing that I wasn't even thinking about what he was saying. Oh, is he ADOS and not ADOS? And trust me, I'll bring that up too. The reason why that's important is for culture reasons. And even though somebody's been here a long time, culture, how your culture is defined. So people can be around black people, but they have a different culture. And this is true in African Americans amongst each other when we look at class, even though our stuff tends to merge a little bit more. So, and this is where a lot of that black conservative versus black liberal bullshit comes in. The Pookie and Ray Ray versus educated, because these are like subcultural things. And that's also predicated on how you were brought up or maybe how you tend to just come out. So black people in America, I'm talking about our ADOS black America, we do not talk about culture enough. We just don't. And that is our issue. That is our fault. Because a lot of these issues that never get addressed are deep-seated cultural ones. So yeah, this issue is more complicated than just gross generalizations. But at the same time, I'm not at the end of the day, as an individual adult, I'm going to say this straight like this. African Americans, an individual African American has a much more greater chance of succeeding and having a great life in the United States than anywhere else on this goddamn planet. So I know what black men go through. But if you on some shit where if black men, a lot of this shit that happens, you usually can trace a series of decisions that black men made. Now, some of that white people help black people make it. So I understand what white supremacy is, but I also understand what the gynocracy is too, that a lot of black men like to ignore, that actually leads them to a lot of the bullshit just as much as white supremacy, because that's actually a part of white supremacy. But see, people don't want to talk about that shit. So my point is, at the end of the day, as an adult, you have an opportunity to choose to put yourself in positions in order to win. Now, say it may be harder for us than others. I get that. Believe me, I get that. But at the end of the day, a lot of the people that speak the loudest, like what he was saying, when you go in their history, they tend to be the motherfuckers that they want to do what the fuck they want to do. They want to be emotionally charged. They don't want to be pragmatic. They want to be sheep. And then you could find very easily the situations that they put themselves into that got them caught up to where the system can just eat their ass. Usually that's the case. And see, folks need to stop trying to get away from that like that's not a thing. And then it's just, they're just happenstance of circumstances. I don't buy that.
I gotta hop in here.
All right, let me just swing it to we're gonna go Truth, and then we're gonna go back up to I forgot Kareem. We're gonna go to Truth and then Kareem. All right, go ahead, Truth.
So it's a little late now, but what I noticed the disagreement between the two brothers was it seemed like one was trying to say that enough. I don't think he was literally saying that there has never been a movement within the black community to make change, but rather he was simply saying that, especially as of late, such a movement has dwindled in size of members, right? Like there is the average young black person and even middle-aged black person, if you stop and talk to them about politics, community, culture, making a difference, they're going to look at you incredulous like you're wasting your time. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what am I going to do? Like, most motherfuckers I talk to don't really think they can make a difference. And I think it's because there's no real movement that speaks universally to all like-minded intellectual black people. BLM, the problem with that, we could get into it, but
we get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not universal enough for every black person to feel comfortable enough supporting it. Me and my friends, we're all young black niggas making money, and we don't fuck with BLM just because of the rhetoric, the narrative, the presentation, the associated acts, etc. And then you look at the leader of BLM just bought a mansion. So it's, when we talk about black people, he was speaking generally. He wasn't, I think, literally trying to suggest that nobody's doing anything, but rather the methods that are currently being implemented are horrible and need to be altered. And to Edward's point, of course we know this, and people who are grassroots level and have been in this shit since day one recognize that this has been a long going battle since before the 50s. This is a 300-year long battle, and it's not going to all of a sudden become a winning, oh, we're Superman today. Like, no, if we want us to be Superman, you got to go to the gym. And you go to the gym metaphorically by all of us becoming coaches and trainers in a broader connected community, leaders leading leaders. Instead of right now, we're all divided and competitive like crabs in a barrel. Even this conversation turned into crabs in a barrel. And then to the super chat that we have culture, it's called jazz, blues, hip hop, fashion, violence. I actually want to push back on that because I'm really tired of the idea that black people always have to take the shit that they give us. It's like Coca-Cola was invented as a heroin withdrawal medication.
Well, that's what people say when they don't know what culture is. They say the shit that he said. But go ahead. Like the dude in the chat that you just read. Go ahead.
Shout out to Tank Johnson, by the way, for that super chat. Appreciate you. Go ahead.
Right? And so it's like, I don't want to say our culture is the worst parts of our culture any more than white people act like their culture is cocaine and heroin abuse, because they have huge levels of cocaine and heroin abuse, and they have had that problem for over 150 years now. So it's just like every community has its ails and its ills and what it's trying to work on. But our culture isn't even, I feel like everyone loves MMA, everyone loves football, everyone loves basketball, everyone loves the Olympics and competition. Just because we're aggressive doesn't mean we need to be looked at as the aggressive ones. Are Spanish people not aggressive? What does that even mean?
But the problem is we have no control over our image. The issue is what we tend to do is cover up our cultural stuff.
We have control over our image. You know how we have control over our image? By not listening to what the fuck other people say. Who gives a fuck what they think about us?
That's not control over your image.
That is control.
No, that's hold on. That's
what nobody is saying.
That's control over. No, that's control over yourself. Not giving a fuck with what they say.
Yeah, and the thing is, they can kill you like they do because of your image. So that's like a gross underestimation of the power of propaganda. Like you can't hold on. You can't say people need to do politics but not understand the importance of image.
I understand the importance of image, but the thing is this: we're allowing people to create our image. They're creating the image so they can kill us, right? They're making us the bad guy, so when they do nefarious shit to us, they get away with it.
Sure, and when you say, well, we don't give a fuck about our image, that makes it very easy. That's like saying I don't give a fuck about putting that basketball in the hole.
Sir, that's not what I said. What I said was we shouldn't give a fuck what they say about our image. If we know it's false, we shouldn't give them the credence to say what they're saying is true. We shouldn't, you know what I mean? We shouldn't say, well, they're the
yeah, but that's what taking control of your image. It's controlling your narrative. It's creating a pushback. Right. So that's what was implied in what I said.
Excuse me? Say it again.
I said, like, when you say control over your image, I'm not saying you care so much about what other people saying. But, like, for instance, Jewish people do care about what other people say. But can you honestly say, do Jewish people worry more about crushing people? Hold on. Do Jewish people worry more about crushing people that say bad shit? Or they do worry more about making sure you understand what the narrative they want out there is?
I gotta add on to this point.
Using them as an example.
I can use Asians too.
They don't care what other people think about them.
Hold on. That's a lie.
Listen, let me add on to Edward's point. Bro, in Florida, they literally made it a law.
All right, man.
All right, here we go with this shit. Here we go.
A lot of what you're too emotionally charged right now, man. So I mean, for real though.
Hold on, let me ask a question. Why can't a person come up here and be who they are? I don't know you. I don't have to speak to the tone that you want me to speak to. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You come up here and whole diatribes and say whatever the fuck you want to say. Like, let me be passionate about what I'm saying.
All right.
If it's not directed
Fair
towards
enough.
you
I'm
and I'm
with you.
not being
Hold
negative
on,
towards
wait.
you, let me be
Hold on.
who I am. What the
I'm
fuck?
just pointing out an observation.
You're not pointing out no obvious. You're not pointing out no obvious. And I'm not gonna let no homosexual talk to me like that anyway. You homosexual? Fuck out of here.
But well, now you're proving my
You're
observation.
homosexual. You're not gonna talk.
All right. I had to drop him down. Damn. I like AC. I like that he takes a different perspective, gives good pushback. We got some good debates. We don't come up here calling nobody that, man. And when you hear me trying to get order, let me get order. I get order, I'll pass it back to you so you can make your point. When I get order, I'm getting order.
Now Bernard, that only works if I care about what he says. Him calling me that name. But whatever.
All right, I'm gonna bring you.
I'm not even trying to be a smart ass, but I'm not even trying. But yeah, anyway.
All right,
what I wanted to say.
Damn, he was in the back chat, and I don't even think he ever stopped talking. I think he was still going when I dropped him down.
Emotionally charged.
Like I still. All right.
Therapy.
Before he goes, can I just say something really fast? It'll take like a second. All I want to say is in a connection to Edward's point, the idea that certain groups definitely protect their images, Jews in particular, there are laws being implemented in certain states that prohibit Jewish conspiracy theory. They definitely care what you say about them, and they're going to make it illegal in any state that have power for you to say shit they don't like. They definitely want to make
which I don't agree with, by the way.
Yeah, but either way it goes,
because that's where that Asian hate bullshit is coming from.
Yeah, but that speaks to the point though of fighting for your image. It's not about just saying I don't give a fuck what they say. It's shooting down what they say and then replacing it with what you want to say and then doing what you got to do to put whatever you're saying out there. That's bigger and bolder.
That's like us saying black men hate black women. We hate black women. That's why we on here. Even though most of us on this fucking panel date black women.
Hate black women.
Holy shit.
Y'all do hate black women.
That's not true. Hold on,
I don't even know these dudes on the panel. And
Bernard, I know you don't hate Bernard. I know you don't hate black women. You already got me clear on that, brother. We already good on that, brother. I'm talking about the
most
other
of these dudes.
I can't even say that about most of these dudes. Ed is on record saying that if he get married, it will be to a darker woman because he wants his kids to have
back
color.
And controlling the narrative.
Listen, man, you guys.
My man's been holding his hand up.
The thing
my man Kareem. Let's go to Kareem. Let's go to Kareem. Kareem ain't said nothing in a minute.
Now, because what I went on to say with the conversation that was happening earlier between I don't know the two gentlemen's names, but I like both points. I was quiet. I was just trying to learn something. Like I watched your show, Bernard, and my first time on ever, of course, we talking about image. But if someone comes to see this stream right now, how will we all look right now doing what we're doing, speaking the way we speak? I've seen time and time again people come on there and disrespect your platform, and that's not cool. We can have conversations, we can have disagreements without attacking each other, and everybody brings something to the table. Like I like the discourse.
I'm okay with a splat with people being passionate. That's why I don't mind the AC is passionate, but it went too far. I mean, I wouldn't. It went to the point where it wasn't even passion. It was him. He called somebody.
Yeah, I'm passionate, but you don't hear me calling motherfuckers names and shit.
Yeah, okay.
When I get back, the difference between
wait a minute. Let me get a minute. Whoa. Hey.
You know what kills me over here?
Hold
they can take all the shots
nigga. Nigga, let the host talk. I'm okay with passion, with a splash of nigga shit. It can make a perfect. It can make a nice, perfect cocktail of an entertaining, informative show, and I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Let me shout out my super chat. Shout out to Indigenous TV. He says ADOS doesn't have culture, nothing tangible that can be considered a substantial culture. Not like Arabs, Asians, or non-ADOS blacks. We adopted Western secular practices. I looked up the definition of culture to make sure I had it right. It says the arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively. No, so that's the definition. Y'all can look at that definition and determine whether or not you think we have culture. Because some people say we have no culture. I'll let y'all think on that one. Shout out to my man Oheen Imora from the Crypto Gang podcast, dropping $100 on it. He says Crypto Gang is making so much money out here. I thought it was only right to share with my brother B. Riley. Shout out to Oheen Imora, the Crypto Gang podcast. The moderators drop his link in the chat whenever y'all see him come through here. That got nothing but love for that brother. He's leading brothers to the promised land over there. My money is up from me rocking with him. So he got me good over here. So shout out to Oheen Imora, man. So whenever he come through, drop that man's link in the chat. Shout out to him. Appreciate him. Came through with the $100. And you know how we do when somebody drop $100 super chat. We got to get Smokey to count it for us.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140.
That's $100.
All right. It's all there. It's all there.
That shit never gets old.
Hey, Bernard, can I clarify something?
Who's going to say something? Let's keep it civil. Let's keep it civil, passionate, with a splash of nigga shit, and we all right. So go ahead, whoever was trying to wait. Pablo ain't said nothing in a while. Pablo, hold on, wait. Are we going to Pablo next? If Pablo want to get in, he said nothing in a minute.
Yeah, I'll let Fatal Dose go ahead. Go ahead, Fatal Dose. Then I'll go.
Yeah. So here's what I want to clarify. Right, I came to this country as a kid. Right, lived in black neighborhoods. Run with these brothers. You know, did all the fuck shit that everything was going on. I'm married to a black woman into a black family, African American family. Right. I'm from the Caribbean. We were slaves too. You know, I understand all the Jim Crow bullshit that happened in this country. I also, you know, I was an ex-Hebrew Israelite out there in the middle of Manhattan, calling the white man the devil, and all. I've done all of that, right? And being that I participated in all of the fuck shit that was going on until my eyes opened and realized that wasn't life, right? And what I find is that a lot of blacks like to shut out anyone who may have a slight accent or anything, as if we don't have eyes to see or ears to hear what's going on within the black community, and say you're not allowed to talk on it because you're not one of us, you don't know anything that's going on, which is false, because we do live in the community, right? We do see what's going on. And what happens is that a lot of people that are not born in the US, especially people from Africa, right, like to distinguish themselves from the African Americans because of image. It's the image that they see that's being portrayed of African Americans, and the image that they see some African Americans are okay with portraying themselves, which forces them to distinguish themselves from African Americans.
See, this is the problem. We go back and forth with this because some of what you said was bullshit. So now this argument is going to be an ADOS versus non-ADOS argument. That is not the only reason they do it. Let's be clear about that. Okay, they're not forced to. Like, there's a lot of class games that go on. Right. There's a lot of shit that happens with that. So let's not try to put the narrative that it's just one way. Because now you help Fatal Dose now. Because we know that's not the majority reason why they do what they do. Because the thing I always ask is, if our image is so bad, why do Africans and Caribbeans adopt the shit? And by the way, I also have to say, a lot of our image, by the way, Caribbeans actually have, and you understand the Caribbean community in the United States, Caribbeans have a very, very good input into how our image is very fucked up, you know, to be honest. A lot of stuff ADOS people take a hold of. It's like all the negative shit, we're going to charge that to the ADOS motherfuckers. When in actuality, a lot of the white woman chasing and a lot of that bullshit, that's motherfuckers doing it under the tub. And see that shit happens too. I will tell you this. A lot of why you went through what you went through is not because you were Caribbean. It was because you were a man. And so whether you're ADOS or not ADOS, if you're a man, you speak against that damn sisterhood, they may use your accent as an easy way of doing
Fatal,
that.
don't
But if
do
you have
that.
been an
Don't let him
ADOS
drag
dude,
you into
they
that.
check us
Don't
too.
let him drag you into that.
Kevin Samuels is a
Fatal,
perfect
don't let him
example
drag
of
you into
this.
that. Don't let
So
him
so
drag you
check
Kevin
into
this out
that.
though.
Samuels
When
is
his
a perfect example of
Fatal,
this.
don't let him
He is
drag
an
you into that.
ADOS
It has
black
nothing to do
man. It
with
was a
that, bro.
stepfather. Drag him into what? Into
Fatal, don't
what?
let him drag you into that, man. Don't let him drag you into all
Into
your
what?
problems is
Into
woman
what?
based.
What are you?
All
What
your
is the
problem is
into
woman
what?
based. That's not it. That's not it, Fatal. I understood exactly what you just said just now. But the thing is this, right?
Okay, so are you saying that the
Hold
black
on, real quick,
community
Ed.
is not a
Real
matriarchy?
quick, Ed. Nah, it's a patriarchy based on our social structure. It's not a patriarchy based on because women don't like black men and they want to exterminate us and make our lives miserable and shit. That's not what I mean. That's what I'm trying to tell him not
Don't
to
leap
fall
to the
into,
extreme
right?
argument.
So the thing that I'm saying to Fader was this.
Yeah, I
I heard
mean,
everything that you said, right? But this is the question that I asked. Can African Americans speak on West Indian topics? I'm married to a West Indian woman. And I know for a fact I can't go into her family and speak on shit that got anything to do with y'all. And I've been and I live in the north. We live in the Northeast, so you know that the Caribbean community has been entwined with us for decades, right? So it's almost like y'all are a part of us, but we can't speak on cultural narratives with the West Indians, bro. We can't tell
No,
y'all what
I don't
that's
know.
true. That's
is.
true. But it's
Bro,
also true that in the ADOS community, because see, ADOS women don't get the same kind of heat like that. Because they automatically know to bind into what the ADOS females are saying. This is why you got women
Break that
like
down a little
the
more, Ed.
Shade
Break that
Room.
down a
Hold
little
on.
more.
This is why
Now,
you
I'm
got, if
asking
you
you to
look
break
at a
it
lot,
down a
like you
little
got
more so I
women
can
like
better
the Shade
understand what you're
Room
saying.
and shit like that they parrot ADOS women talking points. They don't give a Caribbean take on what the fuck we do. They always loop into what they do. So there is a hierarchy. The black community, ADOS black community, and really the Caribbean community, the African community is probably generally the most patriarchal. Then the Afro and then Afro Latina. Then I would say Caribbean, and then I'd say we're the most gynocratic in the ADOS community. Part of that is because the white man is closest to being in our ass here versus black women in the islands ain't got nowhere else to go but deal with that black man. Same thing in Africa and to a certain extent in Latin America too. But my point is the main culture problem. I'm gonna say this and then I will fall back. The main culture problem that everybody, that most dudes, and I'm gonna say it just like this, use colorful language, are too bitch made and cuck. And this is not in anybody directed in particular, but just in general, because I've been saying this, to deal with is number one, you don't control your community. Your women do. And number two, yes, 80% of black women, there is a deep-seated
Okay, show
resentment
me
and
the black
not even
community that women
resentment. There is
control.
an anger and
Show me the
hatred
black community that women
towards you.
control. Show me the black community that women control. Show me. Point me out to the
Show me
black
the black
community.
community and
Show
men
me the black
control.
community that black women control. Show me that. Show me that community. I'm ready to see it. Show me
That's
where
called,
black
okay,
women run our
that's
community. Show me.
everywhere. South, what you
Where's
call it,
everywhere?
mentioned. So, okay, I'm about to
Where's
tell you.
everywhere?
Can you shut up
Where's
for a
everywhere?
second?
Why do
He
they run
trying
our
to tell you.
where,
You
listen,
said show you. I'm about to.
Hold on. He's
I'm a
trying to
business
tell you.
owner. Where do they run our community at? I'm trying to see this. Where
Go.
that's at?
All right. You got it. You put the question on the table. I want to hear him answer it. I got some disagreement with Ed. I don't necessarily think they run it, but I'll let him go ahead and answer that question.
Let me
Go
tell you
ahead.
something, Bernard. I'd love to have that in one-on-one conversation with you because smarter people than me and you, they got more receipts, can give you that conclusion.
Well, I
But
think it
fine.
depends on how
South
they
Fulton is actually,
define.
hold on. I'm about to answer it.
Go ahead.
South Fulton's a perfect example. South Fulton was one of, and Pablo can correct me if I'm wrong. He was one of those areas in which top and bottom is the government is controlled by black women. I mean, you see it in your political situation. See, it's funny when niggas want to say, "Show me."
What political situation?
Top and bottom, they control those
What political
positions from the
situation?
Yeah,
DA to
the
all of
mayor,
them.
the
Okay, so what
judges,
you
the
want to do
police
is
chief, the
emotionally
women.
argue.
No, because you're just saying anything because you hate women, so we're
No,
all supposed to
I'm
ride with
not,
that dumb
dude.
shit,
If,
and it
if
just
what
makes
I'm
no
okay,
sense.
you
Bro,
want to
make no
emotionally
sense.
All right,
argue.
he's
Hold on.
correct.
Let me know when
He's
you're
correct.
done
It
having
makes
your
no
little
sense. What the
emotional
fuck?
Ed is
meltdown.
correct.
Okay. All right. I had to put him in a quick timeout.
Okay, so
Ed,
I want to say, hold on. Let me say this
all
real
right.
quick. The thing about it is, what dudes are gonna do is they have a reaction like that because at the end of the day, he wants me to. It's like me telling a white person. Oh, it's like a white person. I'm gonna tell you how ridiculous that is. That's like a white person telling me to prove to him racism exists. That's literally how ridiculous that is. And white people do try to play that card. So what I'm telling you is If what I'm saying is so ridiculous, then it should be relatively easy to disprove it. If I say 1 + 1 is 3, all you got to do is show me that it's actually 2, and you kill my argument. But see, you won't do that because you can't. Because deep down, you know what I'm saying is true. Like the way that I look at this is very simple. You have all the areas of activity, sex, law, labor, war, religion, economics, legal, media, education, right? Culture, it can infect all of these areas of activity. So if you have cultural issues, if it is a cultural problem, it's like an operating system problem where you'll see it bubble up in all the applications. So when I can show you hold on, I'm almost done. I can show you in every area of activity where this shit manifests. So any dude that tries to tell me, show me this, show me that, nigga, it's everywhere. That's like me asking you to show you racism. Okay. Like, if you don't know, then you don't want to know. That's really what it is.
All right. So this is where I'm at with it. When you mentioned a city where a lot of black women are judges and whatnot, I mean, I can't say that that's universally across the board. I think
he said show. No, the question was show him where. So I gave him an example, but make no mistake. Are you honestly telling me? Are you honestly telling me that across the board, black men have more political power than black women and influence?
No, I won't.
In the black community, for the black community, is that what we're saying now?
Okay, this is a question that I've been asking, and nobody, I couldn't find it, and nobody has been able to produce it. I was asking.
Ask BGS any of your questions on the gynocracy. He'll happily produce you books.
I'm not saying
go
that.
ahead.
I'm not saying that I just struggle with understanding what people mean. I'm not even saying that it's not a I understand that there's a gynocentric way of thinking and thought process and all of that and everything, and a lot of men uphold it. But as far as actually running something, I don't see them running shit.
So I'm going to explain. I'm going to explain it very simple without going on a soliloquy.
Hold on. I see a lot of single mothers that are raising children by themselves, and by that way, if you're raising
one element.
Yeah, by that way, if you're raising the people by yourself, you're infecting them with all your bullshit.
No, that's a big element, but that's not. We can take that off the table.
But I don't. Okay, that's one that I sweep right off the table, and after I sweep that one off the table, I don't really see much else. I mean, I see headline clippings that in this particular city, there's X number of black judges, black girl magic. I
got it. I'm about to answer it.
I see a lot of evidence that look and sound very similar to most educated. I don't really see.
Okay, I got all that. I've heard all of that, so I'm about to answer it.
Go.
The difference, the best way for me to give you a comparison is when you take Caribbeans, for example, Africans, for example, and Afro-Latinos. What do they all have in common that black men don't have in common, particularly Caribbeans and Africans? The white man doesn't have a power structure directly and relative to them. The reality of the situation is black women always have access to a white man to control you. For example, calling the police.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm almost finished. So there is so basically what happens is black women are the managers of the black community. You are not managers. Any black man that is generally a manager of the black community is in lockstep with what black women want. There is no black man that's out there that black women do not want. Therefore, they are doing what they want them to do. That is how the community, for the most part, has always run. Now, they have been the difference between now and before is black women were smart enough to be quiet enough in order to let men think they're running shit. And now these women, particularly millennials, but really it started with Xers, are too fucking stupid to keep their mouth shut. And now they're just telling you to your face that they don't need you and they run you. Why do you think you have the I'm strong and independent, I don't need no man? Too many black men focus on the single motherhood element and don't understand the other elements outside of that. They can always go to white men in particular, which is the white supremacy power structure, and basically take out anything they're trying to do.
No. They the white supremacy power structure. No, we all citizens of this country. They can go get a job. If you have a situation,
who can go get a job?
Humans.
The motherfucker on child
talk about black men
in America,
and even in that. And hold on, and even yes, you can, but even in that. You
They
know,
can go
in
to a
many ways,
cubicle.
like even in
They
we've
can
seen
go.
this in corporate America too.
Quit saying that they have power over us because they can go work in an air conditioned cubicle somewhere.
I didn't say that.
So I don't get what you're saying then. They can go get a job and they can do like every other citizen can. If they have an issue, they can call the police. That doesn't mean
Okay, then. Okay, so Bernard, I got a question then. Okay, because if you want to say that, hold on. If you want to say you don't get that, then the opposite is also true. So the only other conclusion is the niggas ain't shit. Because you're essentially saying that black men have a hell of a lot more control over the community than what I'm saying, which means the state of the community is black men's fault.
Well,
because you make it sound you're
people,
really
people are free in this country to do what they want. They can do what they want, fuck who they want, fuck who they don't, get pregnant.
But
get
that's
job,
not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the black community.
I'm talking about it. I know, but if people in the
you're talking about us as Americans.
If a black woman in the black community can do whatever she wants, make whatever bad decisions. If she can manage and pay for her bad decisions, great. If she fuck up and fail, she can fall back to the system.
Okay.
And then still carry on her fucked up decisions. And every other woman can make the same fucked up decisions that she could either pay for by herself or not pay for by herself and have the government do it. So what does
that have to do with what I said?
Because what we're talking
about
is
nothing to do with what I said, though.
What we're talking about is a free, Western, civilized country where people are free to do fucked up shit. So really what they're doing
has nothing to do with what I said, though.
Yes, it do.
I said that black women control the black community. I didn't say America.
They don't got control over shit. They just running amok.
You say they don't got control. Okay, so explain explain to me the behaviors of black men then.
If you call
so explain to me. So you're essentially saying, because the opposite has to be true then. So are you saying that black men lead the black community?
I think that it's either leading or not leading, case by case, freedom of association.
What influence do black men have on the community?
I think Ed's had his run.
What? No. What influence? Show any of y'all name me any influence the black man has in the community.
I don't
give me an example.
I don't think
I agree with you.
Sense. I don't even think the question makes sense.
Of course, to black men it wouldn't. But I promise
Pablo.
you, if I ask any other races, they'll have an answer.
Well, no, I can say it as simple as this. I got control. Men I deal with got control.
Here's where the hyper individual comes in.
I understand
individually.
That. I got control over my family, control over my household, and I deal with a lot of men.
Do you though, Bernard? So if that woman wanted to go completely, maverick on your ass.
Fellas,
that's the factor. Hold on. You just made my point. Hold on, Pablo. I got you. You just made my point. That's the factor of being in a free country. She can go maverick. Everybody can go maverick, and black women go maverick. But I don't consider going maverick meaning having power and control. So that's what I'm not getting. They're free to do. They're free. They're free to be fucked up. Hold on. I got you, Pablo. They're free to be fucked up and to do fucked up shit, but I don't see what they're controlling. I don't get that. Okay. Go ahead, Pablo.
Can I help you? Okay. Here's what they're controlling. They control the cultural narrative to the public of the image of Black America. That's why when we say Black America is Black women and children, it has not jack shit to do with black men.
So okay, I agree with that one.
That's one aspect. Good, but there's others.
So when we talk about
I didn't hear power right there. I just
that is why that is a power. It's a pretty big one.
They control the children, which we all acknowledge, which is another thing.
So when the world views you through the lens that they want you viewed from, that is what you are.
Okay, and to that extent, I agree with it, and that's what I've always said. That's why I went back to that example. They have the kids. That's the
whole reason we have a manosphere.
Yeah, exactly.
They also control. Hold on. They also control the politics of the money that comes to black people. That's 3.
Hold on. I was going there with that one. I do agree with Pablo, where Pablo is coming from. And that's what I said to Ed. They control the kids. I give them that all day. I don't think they have some political overarching ruling power. I don't see that. I see a bunch of reckless chicks and a $5 net worth.
So you don't think that black women are not you don't think black women are not partially responsible for the fact that there's more black men in prison in the United States of America than women in prison on the planet? You don't think black women don't help with that shit?
That's a brilliant stat. I love that stat. I'm gonna run that.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, like, think about that.
They've contributed to that. When I hear power, when I hear y'all saying power, I'm thinking some ruling top up government power that they ruling and passing laws and doing shit to control our lives. All
right, let me say it like, yeah. So it's like, okay, it's like when the Nazis controlled.
Real quick, Ed, real quick. All I'm seeing is people running amok in a free country where we enable our people who run amok.
You're saying you're seeing chaos. It's deeper than that.
Hold on. And y'all are calling that power, and it's not. I don't see that as power. That's all I'm saying.
That is not what we're calling. That's what you're not seeing. The best way to describe it is when Nazi Germany controlled France, they had a puppet government that was actually populated by French people. That's how the black community operates. The black community is a gynocracy powered by white supremacy. If you remove the power, is not in black women. The power is what they are able to directly pull against their men by the given to them by the government. This is where when you look in the 1960s when they use the power. Yes, but you call that chaos, but it's deeper than that because they did not always have that.
I gotta push back on the terminology. I agree with the concept. I think the terminology is where's the breakdown is occurring. The idea that there's it's about power. It's like there's too much nuance there. There's too much gray. I see your point though. Definitely the idea that there's a puppeteering master manipulator on top that is able to orchestrate certain events through like a chess-like move. But at the end of the day, if the question is who holds power in any community, that question is going to be a list of individuals, starting with the person with the most power going down. And it kind of doesn't really, if your point is just to simply
in most communities, the men is not is I get it is more nuanced, but in most communities, Trump proved this with white women voting for him the first time, by the way. Most women look for their men for leadership. Now, our women, and see, this is where when you read the books, you understand black women have never respected black male leadership. And what I'll say as far as what you're talking about with the power thing, because I can understand like how you can see that, but here's the most important thing I want you all to pull from this. A lot of the power that black women have, black men, this is what I've learned at the end of this. Black men get, because I can really estimate where they get it from, but I know it's other people on the panel. The most important though is black men give a lot of the power to black women. That's where that how you are raised shit becomes very important. And like Kevin said, and before BGS before him and people before him, black men deify their mothers, and they look at other black women through the eyes that their mothers to a certain extent. Yeah, that's a problem. Black men have given their power. This is why when I hear motherfuckers talk about what black men are doing to leadership, I'm like, y'all last motherfuckers need to be talking about leadership because y'all won't even lead your own damn women. You black, and you see it. You see how black men look to black women for permission to do shit, for like approval for shit, and it's to a certain extent where we don't even talk about it at all. So we always pretend it's the same shit we talk about over and over and over again. It needs to be politics and government.
Hey, let me ask you.
That's cultural.
That's cultural. That's not.
Which is why I said culture is the main problem.
And I agree. Hold on, Ed, stop. Everybody stop. Whoa. Everybody stop. And that part we absolutely agree on, that culture is the main problem. And when you talk about black men deferring to black women on things, that's a cultural problem. That's not them having some top-down power. And I don't want to recircle it back. I throw it to some other people, but
I'll do a video explaining it.
Yeah. Do that, and I'll listen to the video. I try to understand your point. And some people mentioned.
I'll try to get BGS on there too.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As far as somebody saying, and this is something me and Ed talked about before. Somebody said, Bernard, your woman, she can call the police on you whenever you want, and I understand that argument. But like I go back to my Wakanda example, if we built Wakanda today and we got a civilized democracy in Wakanda that we built, I tend to believe a Wakandan wife will be able to call the Wakandan PD on her Wakandan husband, and I tend to believe that they would show up and be more likely to side with her, just like if a white woman.
Oh no! That's bullshit. Hold on. I will prove. Hold on. Bernard, I need just 5 seconds.
No, you're gonna wait for 5 seconds. If a white woman calls the police on her white husband, the white police will show up inside with the white woman. That white
That's
man
not true.
Will
that is not true.
You're wrong.
Bullshit. Okay, all right, okay. So
that is not. Hold on. Okay, no. I'm gonna tell you. I've heard white women say it. The difference. Hold on. The difference in calculation. The difference in calculation. Hold on. The different argument in Hold on. The different calculation a white woman. The different calculation a white woman has to make.
They don't protect white women. Then is that what you're saying? So they don't protect white women. The police show up. She got a black eye. They're gonna be like, well, what happened? Your husband hit you. Well, why did he hit you? What'd you do?
Okay, the black eye doesn't count because that's obvious evidence. Black women don't need a black eye. Come on, man. That's an extreme. The reality, because that's obvious at that point. But hold on, but I'll give you the black eye. I will give you the black eye. I will give you that. But the different calculation is that white
jail without the black eye. He did a week in jail.
But but in the law of averages, that woman knows that white man is coming the fuck back because the system does not treat that white man like the system treats that black man. So white women know you got to deal with your man.
You're just arguing. It's kind of hard to hear now. That's just
my bad. But that argument, I stand against that argument. That's not true. White men are not treated like black men in the same system, and you have to believe that in order to believe what you just said was true.
We all agree that there is.
Okay, hold on, wait, hold on, real quick, Truth. I'm gonna throw it right back to you. Ed, let me say this. I know you're gonna want to respond, but I'm gotta.
I'll let you. It's your show. You can have the last word. I'll respond in video. I'll give you that.
Even if I agree that black men are not treated like white men in the system, we still can't go as far to say that the police show up that their interest is not protecting a white woman with a complaint against her white man. We can't make that argument. Even if we say that black man is going to get treated worse, that white man is still at a deficit when it's him versus a white woman that he caught. Otherwise, let's just not then the argument of that they make that white men protect white women, that one got to get thrown out the window if cops are showing up not properly handling a situation when a white woman is in danger by her white husband, boyfriend, and or attacker of some sort. We can't have both of those arguments can't exist at the same time. A white in a country with all of this shit that's so
argument,
it's pro woman as shit is around here. Women calling the police against a man, that man is at a deficit. So I don't think that's the end all be all. I don't think that's the end all be all to say your woman has power over you. Yeah, it's typical police power in a country where the police is going to show up to protect the woman.
Bullshit argument. Go ahead.
I want to add it. Okay, so to answer the question, who has the power in the black community? No one gender, no one sex, no one individual has power. It's definitely not even enough of a difference to give anyone priority, I think, because it depends on the context. If we're looking at our culture, our community, the issue with what our structure is, I agree with everything Ed was saying on that point. There is definitely, as people called it, he kept calling it the gynocracy. That is a thing that is bleeding into our community from the white society. That's not even a black issue. If you look into black society pre-segregation, we've never had this issue. This is a post-70s war on drugs, post-segregation ending issue where the most dominant, aggressive...
That's actually not true. But, yeah.
What do you
But
mean
I'm gonna
by
hop off. What that this is not an issue post 70s. It's not an issue that was out there like that. But I can give you books and resources. These power dynamics have existed for a long time. It's just other things covered it up to a certain extent. But this power dynamic, when it comes to white, black women, even this shit goes all the way back to slavery. A lot of these power dynamics, and it's never really adjusted. It's just like I'll give you the book. Like what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give y'all the books, the resources. I'll give y'all all that shit. Like we'll get it broke down. And I'm glad we had this conversation because this actually all of y'all are smart. All of y'all are smart brothers. So this definitely shows me we got a lot of work to do.
I actually, I don't know. This was back when you was using different emails. I emailed you because I wanted to have this this discussion with you in a one-on-one format, and it was basically going to be centered around the same thing. Like we agree.
Bernard, I'm gonna tell you
real quick. Hold on, let me say this. We agree that black women are doing some fucked up shit. We agree on all of that. I think it's cultural. The only area we got disagreement is how much we want to just say white supremacy is the reason, and how much we want to say that they actually do have some power.
Bernard, I'm gonna
hold on. How much power do they have that every other woman don't technically have? That's the only area where.
So I talk about
everything that you say. I can say, yeah, another woman can do that same thing. So it's not really
okay. So all I'm gonna say is I popularize the idea of the gynocracy, but understand I'm not the source of it in the sphere. So I'm gonna see, because obviously BGS is in the West Coast, and you do morning shows. It's gonna be better to get you to the source, because BGS is gonna give you receipts, books after books after books. He's gonna give you books that were written back in when the shit was happening. Like books in the 1800s and shit, receipts, passages. If you really want to talk to the source, because I believe you deserve that, then that's going to be a very great discussion. And I'll participate in that discussion kind of on the back end. But we got to see if we could do something with BGS, because he's the one that showed me this. Because I used to always talk shit why black men couldn't work together economically, and it's always this petty bullshit. And he's the one that really showed me the key piece I was missing was culture.
Let me ask you this question though. That's what I was just about to ask you.
We agree on the culture. Go ahead.
Is it a cultural narrative based on our social structure, based on where we was placed in the social hierarchy? Is that the catalyst to it? Like just our
black men have never had any kind of influence. Black men have never had any kind of real leadership as a collective group in the community. They haven't. We've had this belief but we've never really had it.
When you said that earlier, I wanted to push back. When you said that black women don't follow what black men see, but look at all the black organizations that we have in like the NOI, with the Black Panthers. A lot.
Nation of Islam is the one exception. That's the one exception. That's like 200,000 people. That doesn't count.
The Black Panthers, they had a lot of black women that was willing to. How they don't count? They in the black community.
Though that's not. But I'm talking about black people as a collective community. You're talking about like little pocket shit. That's like me. That's like me talking about like Scientology.
Ed, even as a community, we have little tribes within the community. We have little factions within.
I'm talking about Ed,
let me get it all out, then you can chop it up. We have little factions within the community that's gonna have leaders, that's gonna have people that women follow. Right. We can't take those little pockets and discount them because it's not.
All right, so do you believe black poverty is a problem?
Yes.
No, it's not. You know why? Because there's black millionaires. And there's plenty of black people. I can show you King George County.
How is black poverty
King George County in Virginia? I can show you counties where black people got money. So it's not a problem.
That doesn't change that there's other poor counties. You're not gonna tell all the
exactly. That's what the fuck I was talking about. Same thing with my point. Thank you for making it.
You made no point. What point?
The majority you're talking about.
All right, y'all all over the place. Let me.
No, I'm not. But whatever.
No. It wasn't you. It wasn't you right there. No, it wasn't you right there.
How am I all over the place though? How am I all over the place by trying to understand where he's saying that black women don't follow black men's lead, black men never had power in the community.
Oh no, I agree with that. Hold on, wait. I agree with him on that part. They don't follow black men lead. My thing
it's the
is,
why we disagree on. Me and
yeah,
Bernard,
me and you disagree on the why. See, this is my position. I'm about to wrap this up because we closing in on 3 hours. I think Obsidian about to come on right now anyway. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. I think, like I said, I think every woman could just be out of pocket and call the police on her man. Every woman in this country can do that. Call the police on her man for no reason. Black women choose to do it more. Every woman can be strong, independent, and don't need no man. Black women choose to carry that attitude more.
Then you gotta ask why.
Okay, so we disagree on the why. I just think they just choose to do it, and to some degree, a lot of them are. I'm not even got to get into the high testosterone. A lot of them are hardwired to operate like that, but I ain't about to get into that.
But
okay, all right. So we disagree on the why.
I know they do have more testosterone than the average woman. You're right about that.
Yeah,
I'll say it. But so do Africans too.
Yeah, but they don't. Okay, but they don't.
So do Caribbean women too.
This might be. This is where the white supremacy come in at, but because they got laws out there.
Well, the Caribbean women don't have the option on the island, and in this, Caribbean women are not docile. Look, understand, Latin women are not docile. Hell, even Jewish women are not really docile.
If you're talking about a country where the man is judge, jury, and executioner in his own house, and can't nobody say shit to him, then yes, that woman is incentivized to sit down and shut the fuck up. But in this country, even a white man is not judge, jury, and executioner in his own house, and that woman can call the police on his ass.
I mean, so Charles is a cop, so Charles can speak to that better than I can, but I can tell you right now, it's even under the guise of Me Too, white women have to make different calculations. Like a white man is not automatically, look, a white man will come in there and it's gonna take a black woman's side no matter what the fuck happened. Like really, unless it's clear and obvious evidence, like if his face is bloody, then it's like, go calm down. A white man is not doing that with another white man as readily. And I know this is true because white men have a completely different. And why do you think white people have a completely different expectation of the police force than black people do? Like white men, that expectation is there for a reason. It's not. I remember that there was a guy that he got. I'm gonna give you your point. He got kicked out of a club. I was an Uber driver back then. He got kicked out of a club because he grabbed a white woman's ass. Mm-hmm. So this is what you're talking about. This was an off-duty cop that kicked him out. This is what this white dude said. And it was 2 white guys in my car. So that's your point right there, right? Do you understand how that white guy act like his world was... the way he looked was as if his, like a black man, as if a black person, if their mother disowned him, said, "You're not my son. I never want you to be my son. I wanted to abort you." You know the day's look a black man will probably have being told some shit like that by his mom. Yeah. This is the look this dude had. He kept saying, "Law and order. I believe in law and order. I can't believe this cop did to me." And his white friend was actually saying that low key it might have been his fault he got kicked out, but he wasn't trying to directly say that because they were cool. That motherfucker was about to spaz, and I was like looking at my rear view because he about to fuck that white dude up. This is his friend, because he could not believe that. So even though I will give you, yes, to a certain extent that is true what you're saying, the expectation is different because generally it doesn't operate that way. A white woman cannot call the cops on a white man just because she fucking feels like it and expect an outcome. A white man has to actually do some shit. Otherwise, they're going to say shit like walk this shit off or some bullshit like that. In which, once they walk it off, guess what? When that cop goes, the black person has to, a white person has to deal, white one has to deal with that white man. But if they call it on a black person, somebody's going to jail.
Or she can leave and just go, or she can leave and just be strong, independent, and not need them. She do got the ability to do that, but she choose to stay. Shout out to Charles Merchant and what he talking about right there. He says America is one big matriarchy. I kind of agree with that because women are in position in this country to where it's their own freedom of choice and freedom of association. If they're going to,
that is true, but that's kind of a misnomer.
If they're going to be in a patriarchal situation. Because
they actually changed the law as to the men, the kids were supposed to go to the men. In like the 1970s, they flipped that law to where it automatically goes to the woman. And that's when America officially kind of became matriarchy. But that's why I say it's a gynocracy, because what the fuck we deal with is something very different. And I mean, shit, how can y'all listen to Kevin Samuels shit as just an example? And I can show you other examples and not believe that, but whatever.
No, we agree on what's happening, but we just got some disagreement on the whys.
Yeah, I don't agree with none of that shit y'all
I know.
Well, of course you don't, and that's part of the problem.
With none of that shit y'all
I think that's part
of the problem. Because hey, most dudes think like, well, what's it call it? Most dudes think like him. You're absolutely right. You are the majority opinion, and that's why shit don't change.
I don't agree with nothing y'all saying, because I think the
problem
is,
you don't have to agree that the world is flat. Doesn't mean the world is round. Doesn't mean it isn't.
Right, but you guys, this is the thing, right? You guys in your own sphere having this conversation, right? And the thing is,
now it's us guys again.
But
so,
like,
as you can see, most black men in the manosphere don't even believe in the gynocracy.
They do. That's why they're over here with y'all, because they believe that it exists. They believe that the gynocracy exists. That's why they're over here with y'all, and they sympathize with what you're saying. Well, a person like me that's out here living life, I don't need this shit is like.
So now you're living life. So we're not living life, and that's why we believe this, because we're not. See, and this is why I wanted to
that's a bad
that shit out of you in the first place. You knew that's what you was on. You just wanted the bullshit.
No bullshit.
All right, I'm hopping off. Hey, dude, I'll debate you on my channel at any point. Just
hold on. Damn, Ed. Damn, I want you to come back, but no, Ed, if you're listening, I think me and you got some agreement, but a little bit of the why and this or that. I don't like what AZ talking about because y'all not living life. I'm living life and I'm very happy, but I know what I'm seeing with my own eyes when I analyze the community and what's happening to it. I just make personal choices in my life to make sure that any fuckery and collateral damage from the community and a fucked up culture is going to have a very minimal effect on me. But that still doesn't mean that the world isn't burning behind me, and we should talk about it. That's where I'm at with it. But yeah, thanks, Ed. I look forward to seeing you talk about that and go live on that and lay it out, because shit is fucked up. But and maybe maybe me and Ed is just having a disagreement on semantics. Maybe I'm not understanding maybe I've met something different by gynocracy than what he's met. I think we may be having a semantical war here. But I think we probably, I don't know. We'll see. Shout out to Kareem. Thanks for coming on through and clearing that something. You said you did send me that email, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I will check on those emails. Shout out to everybody else. Antisocial Socialite says, who passes down culture? That would be the woman. But then again, that could turn into semantics, because those are words. Like, what does it mean? Who passes down culture? It's sometimes it just turns into a semantical war. I don't. Who passes down culture? I'm not about to get into that, because that's a lot. That's a lot to unpack. Low end theory in the building. He says race is in trouble when the okay. Appreciate the super chat. Anybody else? I don't think it's no more super chats in here. All right, cool. All right, thanks everybody for coming on through. Appreciate everybody coming on through. Everybody who leaves a like, share, subscribe, super chat, cash app, did anything to participate in the show in any way, shape, or form today, you are greatly appreciated. What the hell? Bernard, y'all need to let other voices be heard. We let your voice be heard over everybody, talking over everybody, interrupting everybody, calling everybody gay, and you other niggas, and y'all ain't living, and y'all some that we heard it. We heard you, nigga. Need to let other voices be heard. I like when you come up. I like pushback. I like disagreement. I like debate. So that you can be a reoccurring person on the show. Take the link when I drop it every time. But anyway, all right, we out of here, y'all. Peace.